Hello. I think I have the wrong window open. That is 100%. Yep, we are. Man, we are actually ready to go for this.
All I see is Melissa's corner of her head.
Yep. I had it originally set up. Oh man.
Yeah, can you shrink my camera too? Because I am like real up close.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. We don't usually stream on long weekends.
Nope.
I'm going to say that.
That's
Thank
that's
you
the reason
to
that we're
Yeah, thank you to everyone currently sitting in our viewers as we get ourselves up and rolling for tonight's
Wrong
episode of
direction.
Legends of Logomancy.
Yeah.
You went
Phil
the
is
wrong
just a
way there,
beard.
David.
Oh, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Actually, David, while you're doing this, can you just zoom directly on my eye here? Just wondering if you could just do that for me. That'd be great.
No, I can't.
No?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the most professional, well-produced Dungeons and Dragons stream of all time that is always on time and never has technical difficulties.
Never.
Never.
You're a fucking liar.
I motion raised to have all of us wear t-shirts that have giant pictures of bees on them and just like tinfoil hats every day, every stream, forever.
Uniform.
I would vote the opposite way around.
Tinfoil shirts,
Shirts with
bee hats.
shirts with tinfoil on it and bee hats.
Yes. Can I just pause for a second? I do apologize.
100%. What's going on?
Could we just maybe up everybody's volume a little bit? It's a little quiet on Twitch from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, we definitely can.
Okay.
Because of course
I'm sorry, is this too quiet for you?
Mac, I need you to really get in there. I need you to just get up in that microphone for me really
This is
quickly.
eating an A&W Veggie Beyond Burger ASMR.
On that topic, the new whistle dog, if anyone's gonna go try it, don't. It's awful. And like I am heartbroken. And I just want to know if A&W ever sees this. I hope nothing but the worst for you and your company.
I love A&W. No, just because they have one fail doesn't mean that it's all bad. Have you had their onion rings? They're so salty.
The
I
whistle
love it.
dog used to be the perfect menu item. It was a hot dog grilled on the same grill as the rest of the burgers with bacon, cheese, and then you take the relish off because you're not a monster.
Yeah.
And
I just had one like that too.
And it was perfect. And then they boil them now. Who boils hot dogs for the record?
I actually like boiled hot dogs, especially
like 80% of people boil their hot dogs.
Oh, okay. So
and
just
they're
really
better
we're
if
gonna deal
they're
with that. There we go.
All right, guys.
Is solved.
Guys, we now have David's Christmas gift this year. We're all just going to get him just like something to grill in the backyard because he's a dad now. Not yet, but I mean he's on his way to being dad. So I mean,
So you're like, let's buy him a grill. I'm like, no, I'm going to like Postmate him boiled hot dogs every week for the rest of his life.
Oh no, I'm waiting till we all do a D&D camping trip, and I replace his water bottle with cold hot dog water.
Oh.
No one would find you. That's all I'm saying, buddy.
And it's true because I'm not a woodsy person. So if he just threw me anywhere in the woods, I'd probably be screwed.
I'm gonna wait till you have to stop on the side of the road, and then we're just gonna leave you.
So moving right along.
Really quickly, we're a little bit late, so we're gonna skip the normal pleasantries that would be asking how everyone's week are, because I will sum it up. Today has been stressful, and we're all just gonna roll on through past that. Which means last week you left off. You had just had a wonderful encounter with the court where you had ousted that there was a member of the court that had been directly leading to a little bit of subterfuge, a little bit of naughty behavior, if you would, and not the normal kind of naughty behavior. But this one, I don't know where I'm going with that. I would be completely honest.
Are we talking about dragons there?
And we had just left off with a member of the human side of the court asking to be excused, a member of the human court being denied a very important piece of cultural reference, and the beginning of what was combat. So, really quickly here, we're going to find the player token and bring you all over to here. Now I'm going to make sure that actually looks good. It does not.
Oh man, is
There
that
we go.
Magnus just below me?
Yes.
Is that what he looks like?
That was a generic archmage token.
Okay, fair enough. Because I was about to
The
say,
best
like,
one will be is I assure you the queen does not look like a person without a Facebook profile picture.
That is a CR8, I believe, Archmage
Yeah.
token.
Yeah.
He's not putting us up against the CR8, I hope.
No, I want you guys to survive.
Hey, I attended the DM chat. I'm aware of our odds.
You guys could do well, I'm sure.
Yeah,
don't worry, Dern's got it.
I'm only a little afraid of this encounter.
I'm not. Dern's nuts. He's prepared. He's ready. He's ready to go.
So we're gonna dive headfirst into this. I'm gonna need all of you to roll me initiative.
Oh, there's the music. This is the battle.
Can you open the tracker for us?
I can. I just need to quickly remember how to do that.
No worries. It looks like a stopwatch.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Amazing.
Don't worry, Dern's got a 2.
Do you want?
It's okay. I got a 5, so.
Yes.
Oh, I got a 4, actually.
Oh, you got +3? That's actually not a bad bonus, friend.
Do you want Steve on
Yeah,
his
nice
own
bonus.
initiative?
No, he'll go with you.
Don't worry, it's going to be a nat 20 on Dern's first roll. We'll make up for this.
It's going to be a 1. Come on now.
No. Nat 20. Nat 20's all night tonight, my friend.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. That's the way Dern rolls, friend.
So we're going to clip that portion and we'll compare it to the end of this battle as Dern dies. To make a beautiful moment. I'm really excited for that.
You just clip the all day, every day, and then you can insert it wherever you want to get him to say stuff.
All day, every day, says Dern.
Do you like to eat Brussels sprouts?
All day, every day.
Okay. We are
So,
almost.
Where is the second door?
So you are close to the second door. What looks like a bookshelf is actually definitely a door. Right here.
What if the bookshelf is a monster? Sorry.
It's actually a mimic?
Always.
It's actually a mimic. There's actually a boss in Final Fantasy XIV that's like an actual bookcase.
Okay.
That's fun.
So, at the top of the combat initiative, we will start here. Oops, no, we will not.
And how high is the ceiling here?
The ceiling's pretty high. I would say it is probably like a 15-foot ceiling.
Okay, I am like up 15 feet.
Okay, don't forget to put the token on.
I just did.
Excellent. We've got 2 more bits of initiative to roll.
I see our queen is non-binary.
Say again?
Sure is.
I say our queen is non-binary.
Yeah, it's not pink or this or that or whatever.
I'd be more concerned that her head isn't attached.
It's hey now, guillotines haven't been rolled out yet.
I mean, also, we know very little about her leadership style. All we know is that we don't like the militia, but that doesn't mean we like her.
There's
don't
a
suggest it.
lot of questions that will happen at the end are going to be like, did we fuck up? Maybe.
Can
Who
we not
knows?
attack the queen?
Sorry, say what? You guys are free to do whatever you want.
No, we should not attack the queen. She's on our side right now.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And more importantly, she's on Magnus's side.
Yeah, everyone protect Magnus. It's the only thing that matters. If Magnus shoots someone, shoot them.
With that said, Quill, you start us with combat for round 1.
What? I'm a 7.
Why do you have a 19?
It was like that last week too.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, Dern, you're on your twice too. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
I'll take the higher number. I definitely rolled
Agnes,
the
what did
higher
you roll?
number.
Okay, I'm an 11.
You're an 11, okay, so that's the right one. Then we'll remove that 10. Foxglove, not Ryan's character. Okay.
Oh, and I'm fully embracing the energy that is when people ask me what I am, I say I'm an 11.
Okay, which means that to start this off,
It's definitely not me.
So my order has the queen leading
Yeah.
the charge.
But before that, I did say that I was preparing an action if shit was going to go down to cast Shield of Faith on the queen.
okay,
Does that go off?
Yeah.
it definitely can, and that's +2 to the armor class, right?
That is correct.
You'll take it, but
And
Fuck wouldn't you do that to one of us?
Because the queen is the important NPC we're trying to protect, and Quill, you're agile, you're fine.
and I was holding an Eldritch Blast.
okay, then I will give you an opportunity to go first and unleash that on your target of choice.
Okay. This guy in the center in the red robes with the daddy
That's
issue
Magnus.
mask.
That's Magnus. Don't shoot Magnus. Don't shoot
Protect
Magnus.
Okay.
That is on our
Okay.
side.
If
Okay.
it looks
Remember
like
how I just
everyone
said don't
else,
shoot?
all the doppelgangers kill the doppelganger.
Okay. So it's the 4 identical quintuplets.
Yep.
Is this guy the leader?
No, the one on the bottom is the one closest to the
Okay.
queen right now.
Yeah, so it's
hello.
definitely going to go after him.
Okay.
Barbershop Quartet.
That's going to be a 12. That where did your armor class go? All of my armor classes disappeared.
Oh no.
Woohoo! Their armor was removed.
It's a new spell
Magnus
that
made
we're
them
learning.
naked.
What?
Nobles.
You're telling us too much.
Okay, I gotta fix that really quickly here.
I'm gonna start referring to the times we choose to stream on a long weekend are going to be #cursed stream, and we're just going to lean heavy into this. It's just #cursed stream.
I'm not like a crystals person, but I was at a crystal store and I had bought like this crystalline necklace. And since I fucking bought that thing, I've destroyed my shoulder, caught COVID, had all these other issues going on. I'm gonna send this thing out to the woods and never go and find it.
So sorry, you,
No
you
kidding.
attacked the leader, right? The guy at the bottom there.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to miss.
Okay.
Okay, which takes us back to the top of initiative. Sure. No,
I had something prepared.
Did you have something prepared, Quill?
It was just gas, so it's not like it changes anything. But
Okay, then it's gonna be the queen's turn right off the bat.
Oh my god.
We are, man, yeah, cursed stream for sure.
Come join Legends of Logomancy, the cursed stream.
It's just about everyone's a doctor trying to figure out someone's urinary tract infection.
Oh no. It's
Uh,
like the worst puzzle game.
Oh no, we're in his nuts. How do we get out?
I'm trying to debate into getting into stupid side shit, or like we kind of have to do this shit because we're on a little bit of a time thing.
We can do both. It's fine. David, what's the queen doing?
she's gonna move towards the noble that has slighted her. And she is going to she's going to pull out her own shield. And you're gonna see, so she kind of charges forward, she pulls a shield, and she pulls out her sword, drawing it across her as she comes, and she's got this kind of like wicked smile on her face. She spins her sword around, a little bit of a flourish, and she looks at him and she goes, "You could have walked away." And that's gonna be her turn. Which is gonna lead to this guy's turn. And he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to move to here, and he is going to shout in a language you don't understand. I don't think none of you would speak it, and it's kind of like guttural and deep, and he yells it out, and you start to hear a commotion in the hallway behind you.
Guttural and deep.
Yeah, it's language. It sounds close-ish to common. It's true harem is what he's speaking.
Okay, I don't speak that.
No.
Of the 500 languages I speak.
Agnes, it's your turn.
My turn. I'm right by that door.
You are.
What the hell am I supposed to do with that? I don't
Do you have some druidy stuff that can lock doors?
know. No, but I mean, I could.
What?
The
Just
risk with druids is that they only get like so few uses of their wild shape, and there are so many reasons to not use it on creating a giant bear to hold the door. So,
but there's also so many reasons on using it to create a giant bear to kill people.
yeah, but
It's called mauling.
stars druid, and you don't. Wild shape is not for animals. Wild shape is for stars. Okay, well,
Can you turn into a star wolf?
I can turn into a star archer. I'm
Can't
going...
let you do that, Star Fox.
Sorry? Oh, never mind. Anyway, we're going to do a thing where Agnes does a thing, and
I think me and Mac had a very similar idea there.
Yeah, we both said Star Fox.
Star Fox, yeah.
Star Fox. There's Star Wolf. Oh wait, that's why you said Star Wolf. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, guys! I'm just gonna produce flame on the guy coming towards me.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
And then we're gonna say, "Run away!" I'm moving away from the door. I can't block it. I'm not standing close to this, so I'm gonna move.
That was
I'm a
3
move
points of damage.
close
Okay.
to my Magnus friend. Hi, Magnus.
There we go.
Easily defensible position. Sure.
Anyone who
Hello,
wants
my
to get
turn.
He's gonna have to cross a table. Excellent. Foxglove, it's up to you, buddy.
Okay, well, let's see if it'll work a second time. That looks better.
Eldritch Blast!
Against the first guy? The same guy?
Yeah, against that guy.
Okay. That's gonna hit. And that does 7 points of damage. So we're gonna
And I pull him 10 feet towards me.
Okay.
Oh god, do you just like pull him like across the table? Because like, could you imagine that kind of picture?
I mean,
You
because
just get
you're up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that would suck.
Now, I might not have the angle to pull him like 10 feet up, but I probably would at least pull him into that table.
Okay, that is going to be that. So
So
you'd actually end up pulling him like basically on top of the table, so he'd be like
yeah.
that.
So I assume he probably wouldn't take any damage, but might need to take a check to remain footed.
Yeah, let's give him a dexterity check. Let's see how he does in a dexterity situation. I will give you that. So
Because I was about to say, you pull him up, either he like takes like half his body slamming into the table.
With a remarkable amount of dexterity, as he kind of like comes up the as he gets like pulled towards the thing, he kind of like basically runs up the table to where he is, and he's like, even he seems a little like, oh, okay, like I didn't expect that to happen.
Does he give a little ha ha?
Basically, he's kind of standing there like, okay, let's do this. Okay, anything else?
I am going to stare at him questioningly, like, how the hell did you just do that?
It's very clear that he himself doesn't actually understand how he just did that.
But yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. 2 seconds. So that's gonna be Friedberg's turn. So she is a cowardly wench. And she's literally just gonna dive under this table and like kind of hide underneath it. So she's undercover, but like no zero like push forward. She literally just goes and dives kind of under the space. And that'll be her turn. Magnus's turn. Magnus kind of gives a look about the room and kind of looks over at Quill and goes, "Hey Quill, do you want to see a magic trick?"
Yes, I think.
And from within his robes, he produces a small statue made entirely of gold. And the statue represents that of a dragon. He grabs it in his hands and he kind of like begins to squish down on it. And you watch as like the magic takes hold, it begins to kind of melt, and like the gold pools into his hands and begins to kind of run down his fingers. And as it does, you see it kind of trickle, sticking to his body. And he lets out a terrific, deafening roar. And as he takes kind of a half step back, he sprouts draconic wings, his neck elongates, and he sprouts a tail. And now he looks almost as dragonly as Dern does.
What? But his size hasn't changed.
He's slightly larger.
He's a large.
Yeah, he's not like massive, or like he doesn't move into actually being considered a large beast, but he's like almost Dern sized.
Petition to
My eyes
commission
just-
Magnus some theme music for his Supergirl transformation.
As he changes into a very like Sailor Moon.
Light pout.
Quill's just sitting there, just like slack jawed.
So that will be Magnus's. Actually, no. Magnus is going to charge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and use his new breath weapon. So there's going to be a 60.
God.
Oops, that is the wrong person.
Dern's going like now. Dern's a little jealous.
Yeah, so he's gonna use his breath weapon, which will be 6d6 of force damage against them making dexterity checks. And I'll be more surprised. Ooh. Okay. Even at advantage, damn. Ooh, okay. That's not how I expected that to go.
Are they being more dexterous?
Dexterous.
No, actually, quite the opposite. So yeah, you watch him kind of like charge forward, his wings sprout up, and he lets out a kind of a shimmering cone of energy, and you literally watch him evaporate those two.
David.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just put us up against things like this, David.
You'll have to wait and see. Quill, your turn.
David.
Sorry, who's dead? Because on the board they still are there.
Oh, did they not? Oh, they didn't update. That's my bad. That one and that one. So there's a guy standing on top of the table, and then there's a guy directly in front.
Okay, well, the one that's chasing Agnes,
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot with my bow
Okay.
for a nat 1, baby.
Nat 1 and Nat 20.
Yeah, you rolled both sides of the die on that. So yeah, as you pull back your bow and you fire off, it just like whiffs into the wall off to the side.
Yeah, that's because what you can't tell is my eyes are kind of separating like this because one is staring at the dragon and the other's trying to bring focus on my shot. That's why the nat 20, because I'm excited about the dragon, but the one because I'm really not looking where I'm shooting.
Well, I was about to say, Dern's feeling a little jealous right now.
Now, can you tell us the difference, Dern? Like, how we talking?
Yeah.
Okay, is that your turn, Quill?
Yeah, Magnus got that BDE.
Yeah, that's not how I expected that to go. Varys. So it'll be his turn. And he is going to. Oh no, he's dead. He's not going to do anything. So Kalen was the one at the top, and you see him reach into his pouch, kind of like in the side, and he pulls out one of the Arcanium stones, and he turns around. He points to the middle of your guys' group, like where you guys are all clustered up. He is going to. Got the right spell. There we go. Make sure I've got that right. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he can make that work. And you watch as he squeezes down on it. He's got to make his fuck.
Did he just get turned inside out?
Did he just roll a nat 1, David?
And he does not have the constitution to back that up. So you watch him grabs the stone and he points at you guys and he goes, "Ball of fire!" And you watch as his nose begins to bleed.
Oh no!
And he looks like just worn out immediately. As he takes 2d6 of damage.
Oh no!
And 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh no!
And ends his turn.
So David, how's your big evil bad guys going?
They're not here yet.
These are the little evil bad guys.
Dern, it's your turn.
Dern is going to move up to here.
Yeah.
Like he's just going to move right up. He's going to charge at the door. And he's going to prepare to charge at whatever the hell comes through it.
Okay. Is that going to be?
So he's got his shield forward like this, like this, calabash at the side, and he is going to charge at whatever comes through the door.
Okay.
And Dern basically is just twirling the hammer in his hand, prepared.
Okay. Is that in your turn?
That will be my turn.
Okay. So that's going to. Oh, why did the turn fit disappear on me?
Don't know.
There we go. The turn order just decided it didn't want to be a turn order anymore. Okay. So as you stand at the door, you hear and the door kind of just pushes through. And with that,
Oh, did they just stand beside me?
they will be, yes, technically. You. That actually hurt my hands, by the way. So I hope you enjoyed the.
Foley.
Sorry, I had you muted. Can you do it again?
Yeah, could you do the Foley again?
Do it with your face this time.
So David, they're all rushing through that door, correct?
Yep.
Could I just do I don't know, a dragon's breath as they're all trying to get through the door and hit all of them? Just a question.
On
Were
your
you?
turn.
Yeah, were you prepared for all of them to run through the door at you?
I was prepared. I
Were you
was
prepared
wanting
with
to
your breath or with your hammer?
I was prepared with my hammer. I'll take
Okay.
that. That's fine, I guess.
1, 2, 3. Did I get them all? They all. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. You didn't get initiative. Okay. Excellent. So it will be the queen's turn.
Do I get to attack one?
Yeah, you can take a swing with your hammer.
Yes, I would. I would like to take a swing with my hammer.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take a look for the strongest one coming through. 16.
It was like you're just trying to figure out which one is. Or
Like
okay,
the-
and just be the guy like straight in front of you, basically. The other
Basically,
one's
yeah.
like rushed past you, getting ready to like fan out into the room, and then you just like the dude who came through last was not expecting you.
Yeah.
A 16 will match, so that'll hit.
Awesome. He is definitely getting smoted.
Okay, so.
So 6 plus divine smite. Which is it's first level spell slot, so 2d8 extra damage. So a total of 13 damage coming towards this guy.
Okay, so literally as you come through, like he catches, it's almost like he thinks he's got like the upper hand at that exact moment as like you come down with the Calabasha, he takes the hit, but he's like, he was ready. He had his own spear ready, so he kind of caught the thing as it came into him and did reduce the damage, looked up at you as you like began to channel the smite through him, and you kind of see a moment of like, oh, okay. and just like, you turn him into paste on the ground.
Awesome. I will take an instance to then basically just try and intimidate the rest of them with this blue fire or blue like cold flame basically coming off the Calabasha, and just like a dragon's roar basically across the rest of them.
Surprisingly, they're unfazed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna give you something else, but then you rolled the 10 like midway through that, so
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It works.
Yeah, so they're going to. That's gonna be your turn, which leads us to the queen. And she is going to advance, and since it's not really that high up, she gets her chance to attack. And I think she's gonna do. I think that's what we're gonna have her do.
Stab him in the no place.
Yeah. I was going to make sure I've got this right because this isn't pulling up properly. And I don't know if it's just a hiccup. Yeah, so she is going to... You watch as she pulls her sword back. A series of runes begin to glow on it, and like kind of almost like a mist begins to fall off of her sword. And she is going to, just kind of, as like he's standing there, she's going to take a swing at him with her own sword, which will be... Okay, game, you could calm down. Nope, she's gonna miss, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she whiffed her shot against him. And then she is going to go for it again with her second attack. Come on. Come on, please roll.
Never.
Hashtag cursed.
There we go.
Hashtag cursed.
Right? And that'll give me both of them. So yeah, on the second one, she's gonna slam into him, and you're gonna watch as she... Okay. Yeah, she sweeps his leg out from underneath him with like the soft bit of the sword, spins it up, and literally just right into him in the table. And end of him. Which will make it... We're going to remove him from the combat order, and then it's going to be Sigurd's turn. Now, Sigurd has 100% been watching what's been going on here. He has watched Dern murk a dude. He's watched Magnus melt some people, and he's watched the queen stab a man into the table. He's thinking about his life choices, and he's just kind of doing this like, nah, I don't think this is how I want to do this. And he pulls his own little bit of arcanium out, and we're gonna give him that.
And it's gonna be a nat 1.
It is not a nat 1.
Oh.
And you watch him look at kind of all of you and go, I think I'm done. And he kind of clenches it in his hand, and you watch like as it begins to like glow when mist. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna take exile. And he just gone.
Fucking terrific.
Yeah, he was 100%. He saw the writing on the walls, and he fled. Or did he? And Agnes. There's a bunch of people around Dern now.
So Agnes is going to attack with Produce Flame on the one on the left of Dern, closest to me.
Okay.
And then, that's like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
That is 1 point of damage. And then as a bonus action, she's going to be like, this has not been my day. And I will go into starry form for Archer. And the eyes light up, and the freckles connect with glowing light.
The episode.
It's like nickel and diamond, but hey, they're dying. Can we call the episode Nickel and Dying?
We definitely can. We definitely can now. For
and
now.
That's my bonus action. So that's what I'm doing.
I like the fact that these guys came in, and the guy who called them in already fled.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Don't worry.
Just want to throw that out there.
I feel like we should do some kind of like a, what's it called? Like a gladiator style thing where it's like, yeah, you might get to control all of this, but if we roll really, really well, we could try for the impossible shot to shoot you in the battle. You're like, don't worry about it. He's definitely gone. Sorry, I'll stop talking now.
All good. All good. Ryan, it's your turn.
So I think I'm going to go for the guy in the bottom left here.
Okay.
Yes! Natural 20!
Okay, the bottom left you said? So this
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
For
He
14
exploded.
points of damage, yeah. Literally, you hit him, and like you watch like the arcane energy, and he starts to kind of like bubble a little bit.
And his body is picked up and
Yeah.
flown.
By the time his body starts to come up, it's actually just bits of him that comes. So it's just he literally just like disintegrates away from him and like smears out across the ground.
Free ravioli.
Well, that was a bit messier than I planned.
Sorry, I didn't order the marinara sauce.
Something to dip your
Oh.
cheese sticks in.
Don't know if I'm just not gonna be hungry now.
A sweet bolognese.
So is Ryan
That's amore.
okay.
Oh!
You kind of like feel a little bit of that tingling sensation you felt before, Agnes, and you watch out of the corner of your eye.
I'm sorry, I had water go down the wrong side of my throat.
He kind of looks like a knight, like what you would expect a traditional knight to look like. Wearing, nice armor, very well decorated, and he's carrying a sword, but the sword looks a little weird. It's got like it looks like it's made out of stone. And laid into it are chunks of arcanium that you can clearly see.
Where did he come from?
He just appeared.
Oh, the air got tingly and then he appeared.
Yeah, very similar sensation to what you remember with Magnus in the past, with him sending you things.
Oh, interesting. So there's a group of people that can send people. Interesting.
Is this person friendly?
Probably not. As he goes to stab Dern.
Luckily, it's Magnus up next, and he can tell us.
Yeah. So Magnus is gonna turn around. He's gonna see the sensation kind of happening as it does, and he's still got his kind of draconic look going on. And you're gonna hear him clearly mutter something under his breath, and he is gonna cast that on him. Just gonna make him do a wisdom save, which he doesn't make. So he is gonna take. What level are you again, Magnus? He's gonna take that. Okay. And you're gonna watch him kind of like he kind of does this little like thing, like he's annoyed by something that he hears. And he shakes his head a little bit and kind of like preps himself, like he gets like ready for something again, because now it's his turn. And he is going to, yeah, he can make that. Dern, does a 23 hit?
Yes.
You're going to take 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And 5 points of fire damage.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that halved on you?
No, it's not.
Wrong kind of dragon.
Yep.
And that. Okay, where did you go? And that will be the end of both of their turns. Quill, it's your turn now.
Well, okay. I am going to. I kind of like bring focus off of Magnus and I turn towards this little knight dude attacking Dern. And you kind of see my my body kind of does this little usual charge up thing it does, like kind of like the little static through my fur. This time it's more of a almost like a green static.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to shoot my bow. And at the big boy. And I'm going to miss.
Okay.
So nothing may happen.
He's dead. He cannot be his turn. Dern, you are completely surrounded right now,
Awesome.
which means it's now your turn.
Yes. Dern, smiling at the chance of actual combat, turns to the knight. And you know what? I'm going to try something here.
Mm-hmm.
Dern looks to this knight and looks to the others and goes, "You seem like an actual challenge. Shall we take it to the side?"
He's kind of got this wicked grin on his face, and he goes, "It would be my honor."
I look to the others and go, "Let us pass."
Yeah, they're just gonna scatter. They're just gonna get
Alright.
like out of the way.
And Dern will take this knight to the side. 5, 10, 15, 20. And look to this knight and beckon him over. And bring him over to me, David. Bring him over to me. And Dern will...
I'll give you that.
Dern will reset his health, giving Lay on Hands 15, and kind of just cracks his neck and gets ready for this fight.
Okay. Are you gonna?
Yep, I'm gonna heal myself.
Okay, that's that.
That is. And bonus action, no bonus action on my part, and just prepares for this
Okay.
with a giant smile on his face.
Quill's probably still going to help you. I'm sorry.
Dern
He doesn't
tries
understand
to
what you're
put up his hands to say no. This is a fight for Dern.
Don't worry, Quill. You'll get your own.
Yeah, but I just cast the spell, so it has to go to someone fucking decent next hit
Yeah.
that I make. So,
Okay,
fine,
so
fine.
Magnus, you're gonna get a guy swinging at you, or is gonna try and stab at you with his spear. For a nat 20,
Oh.
that's gonna be 12 points of piercing damage against you.
Oh.
That's not though, is it?
Hmm?
Doesn't it have to be doubled?
No, that is like doubling the roll.
Oh, I didn't realize roll 20 did that too.
Yeah, it's all built in. All baked in. And that's gonna be the end of his turn.
Uh-huh.
He is not gonna be able to get to you because you are defensible, but he's gonna get real close to his buddy. You're dead. Oops. You went. He also won't be able to get close to you.
Can't you like go on the table?
He can. You should be there.
Not because I want her to get hit. I just mean like technically.
Like, he could get on the table, but he's gonna have to roll Dex, and that would give Agnes. I would give Agnes advantage on that as he tries to like, because it's like a decently tall table. Like he'd have to be trying to like climb on top of it.
Always got to do their calisthenics.
The queen is move to there, and that is going to be her turn. Agnes, your turn.
Okay. I feel like she gets, stabbed and goes, "Ow." And we're gonna Misty step out of that situation. We're just gonna like, boop, don't mind me. We're just gonna get away from you. And then my starry form uses my bonus action to do its thing. Oh, but no. So sorry, 20,000 things I'm gonna say. And we'll just do it again, 'cause this is what we're doing today. A 10 probably doesn't hit him. I'm just like, I'm gonna hide in this pile of papers. Don't mind me.
Which one are you hitting? The one who stabbed you?
One that stabbed me. A 10
no,
won't hit him.
that won't hit.
No.
Uh,
I can't use my starry form if I use my bonus action, so that's me.
Okay, Steve, your turn. Or not Steve, Foxglove.
Yeah. Well,
It could be
so
Steve's turn.
Steve, yeah, is actually going to fly real quick. So he's gonna dash up to there.
Okay.
I'm going to move up to there. And then I'm going to shoot an Eldritch Blast at the southernmost minion.
Okay.
I don't know if I want Steve to be like, Eldritch Blast! Or if I want to be like, Eldritch Blast! Just like, Eldritch Blast!
That's gonna hit. For 10 points. It hits him, and you watch him like take a knee and stand up and go, and like hold his spear, and he's got this like, and he's clearly trying to pump himself up.
And he's pulled 10 feet.
Oh yeah. I always forget about that. So he's there. He's like kind of stumbles forward, and he's like, okay, let's do this.
Bad day to get out of bed. Bad day to get out of bed.
I backed the wrong horse, but too late now. It is now Magnus's turn. He lost concentration, so he resorts back to normal. How do I do this? We want Magnus sees you pull the guy aside, shrug, and go, "Yeah, it's probably fair." And like maybe not out loud, but then he points at this guy, and he is going to once more toll the dead. So he has to roll a wisdom save. Wait. Oh shit! Look at him go. Dude's got it going on.
Dude's got it going on.
Yeah, no, he does. He's fine. He's completely unfazed by it. Which is going to then end Magnus's turn. It is now our friend's turn. So Darren, once more, you're going to. Does a 15 hit?
15 does not. Dern, as he's now prepared for somebody not stabbing him in the back, bashes the sword out of the way and readies the calabash to hit back.
Okay. As you bash it away with like expert level of like combat chip, he swings it around and comes back in for another attack. So that's going to be a nat 20. For that's going to be 14 points of slashing damage against him.
Dern is smiling. He's loving this.
Okay. That is the end of his turn. Quill,
Isn't that
it's
like-
your turn.
Isn't that like almost half your health?
It is. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna hit back just as fucking hard.
See, here's my dilemma. I'm about to waste a fucking spell now. That was meant for him.
Save it.
That
Save it.
I can't.
save
I
it. Oh.
physically
He already
cannot.
He already started it. He has to assign it.
Only
to
way
someone.
I cannot do the spell is if I just end my turn right now.
Got it.
Just use.
It seems like a big ass waste, but okie doke.
You
I'm
could always
going
give it
to-
to someone else.
Again, it's a waste on anybody else, but I don't have an option because it has to happen. So,
Well,
I'll
if
shoot.
it's like a melee one, it could be the queen.
It's any attack. All of my spells are the next person I hit, the spell happens.
Yeah. Oh, you're the Zephyr Strike, right?
Nope, not Zephyr. Every spell I have.
Oh.
Every single ranger spell is like, on your next hit that you make, do this effect.
I was about to say,
So,
could you take out
who
all three of
hasn't-
those guys?
no, it's a one-on-one spell.
Ah.
The guy behind the big guy, has he full health? Has he been hit?
The one like direct. Yeah, he's full hit.
1 second. Fuck you. Sorry.
That's rude.
I wasn't yelling at you guys. There's people outside that like to smoke outside my window, and I always tell them to fucking stop, but they never listen. Anyways, going to shoot him with my bow.
Okay.
And the music just stopped for some reason.
That's
Ominous.
That's an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay. So that's 11 damage.
Okay.
And then I need them to make a strength saving throw.
That is a 4.
Cool. That's a fail. As my arrow kind of like pierces into them, the arrowhead goes in, and then the bow kind of like snaps upwards, and from that kind of like into the ground, really quick little it hits the ground, and then bursting up from the feet of this guy are a bunch of like thorny vines, and they wrap around him and restrain him, and at the start of each of its turn it'll take a 1d6.
Okay.
And I mean, it can make a strength saving throw as well to get out.
Okay. Perfect. Is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Dern, it's your turn.
Dern's just gonna smack him as hard as he can with the calabash and probably get a nat 20 like I just rolled right there. 23.
That's not a nat 20.
I'm trying to make it work.
On a dirty 21, you definitely hit for 9 points of damage.
This is smiting. This is 100% a smite.
Okay, what are you giving me for smite?
This is 100% a 2d8, which is going to be 10 extra damage, and
19.
I'm going to use one of my goddamn freaking druids. These characters are ridiculous. After you've dealt damage with a creature with your divine smite feature, you may channel divinity, which I'm going to, and give myself 2d8 plus 3 my health in bonus health. I
So
give myself
temporary.
13 temporary hit points.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And Dern is just smiling at this guy and just loving this back and forth that they're having.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
That is. I take it this guy gets maybe knocked back a little bit, kind of thing like that. Maybe looking like a little hurt.
He takes it surprisingly well.
Dern's, yeah. This is good.
Yeah, he takes the hit, and he's very clearly like, oh, okay then. Like he's got like this energy about him. So what you see next is like another guard comes through the door, and before he can kind of get too far, he gets pushed aside as another one of those knights comes through. Same kind of like sword and outfit and everything. Like he very clearly is like, yes, okay, let's do this. comes through, and he like just casually pushes this guy out of the way. It's super apparent, zero regard for him. Just kind of like pushes him, draws his sword, looks around the room, and he's got like a very similar like wicked smile on, like he's like ready for this fight. And that's going to need to be added to initiative at the bottom, and you also get added to the initiative. And there we go. So they'll go after the other guards, who are going to go now. So the guard that like you guys have been beating the absolute piss out of looks around at all of you, looks at Quill and shrugs, and it's clearly like I don't really have a better option. And Quill, he is going to swing at you. But like it's sort of those like it's all okay. That's a 7. Does a 7 hit, Quill?
7 hasn't hit since I was a kitten, bitch.
Okay. Yeah, so he just like he's like stumbling, he's like, okay, let's do this, takes his spear and just like sticks it into the ground next to you, kind of looks over at you, and there's almost like a pleading in his face, like, please don't. You are dead, so you don't get a go. You are going to come 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's also going to make a spear attack at.
He's restrained in vines, and he must take a 1d6 damage at the start of his turn.
Thank you for reminding me. 1d6. Can you roll that for me?
I guess.
It's your damage.
A 1.
No.
Okay. And you said he needs to make a strength check to get out of there?
Yes.
Nicklin dying all day.
Is that a 1?
It's a 1, not 1. With if he had rolled with advantage, a nat 20. So he doesn't escape the vines.
Oh God, these vines!
Okay, well,
Ah!
2, 3, 4. You can make that. You get this guy who's going to show up next to you, and he's also going to take a swing at you with his spear. And that's a 6. That is okay. And now we've got the other knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do it like that. You are gonna do that.
The other knight?
Yes, a second one showed up.
Why is his token bigger than the other one?
Because this isn't automatically scaling to the size of the map for some reason, so he is slightly larger, but he's not actually.
It's because
Okay.
people come in all different shapes and sizes.
You shut the fuck up, Foxlove.
And the night.
Yeah, and he's literally going to push the dude who's like super weak out of the way.
Hold on. He's pushing him out of my range of...
Oh, he's just pushing him alongside you, so he can get closer to you. And he is gonna take a swing at you with, with that. Oops, that is the wrong button. With that, for
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
That one.
not quite, but might as well be. Yeah, no, he goes to swing down at you, Quill, and like the sword just completely misses.
Well, see, it got caught on the 2 spears that were crossed in front of him.
Yeah, literally, it connects with the 2 spears and slides off them, and he's like, ah, that's okay. That's unfortunate. Okay, it is once again the queen's turn.
The queen should help me.
Jeez, coming around. And that's gonna be the end of her turn. Agnes, it's all you.
So she takes a 5. She just moves like 5 feet closer, because inconvenient amount of distances happening.
Put yourself in a damn square.
I can't even see the damn square. It's like
You are in between 4 of them.
I don't care. There, look, I'm in a square now.
Make it worse. There you go. You're good.
Just... All right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna upcast Guiding Bolt on the knight.
Okay.
So that is a, where is it? There it is. So that's a 21 to hit for
That'll hit.
12 damage.
12 damage. Okay. Okay. It connects with him like hard, and you see his shoulder roll back, like as he was still caught in the moment of like pulling it across the spears, and he kind of like turns to look at you as he does.
And as he turns to look at me, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast the. I'm in my archer form, and I can use that to cast an arrow at him.
Okay.
For 1d8 plus wisdom. I must have that in here somewhere, but I don't really know where it's prepared right now. So I'm just going to check what my wisdom modifier is and roll it. For 5 points. I probably have to roll to actually attack that.
Does it say?
Archer. On a hit.
Okay, so
it has to hit. Yeah.
But you already hit, so you don't have to roll to hit again.
Right, no, that was a different attack. So that was my main attack, and this is a bonus attack.
Yeah,
No,
give me your attack.
20. This is
That's a nat 1, my
Sorry,
dear.
everybody.
So that
perfect.
Nope, you're gonna kind of like reach out to cast your arrow in your starry form, and it's just gonna like curve kind of lazily and strike the roof. Just like complete miss.
You're like, hey.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve. Nope, I did it again. That's
okay. So Steve is staying invisible. He's going to fly behind that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's 10 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to take the help action.
Okay.
And
So
I
Steve involved.
am going to fly over here. I'm 50 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to Eldritch Blast that guy.
The one directly in front of you?
Yeah.
That will not hit.
All right. So you see it shoot down on him, kind of fizzle out, and it's like you can see like some of his clothing start to lift up and just as it like tries and just fails.
Okay. It is now Magnus's turn. Magnus, are you still low on health?
I am exactly half.
Half? Okay.
Yeah.
I should say on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? And Dern, how are you looking?
Dern's he's actually over his maximum health right now.
No.
With the temporary hit points, he's over maximum.
Okay. Then in that case, Magnus is going to Misty Step over towards you, Agnes. He's gonna kind of lay his hand on your shoulder, and he is going to cast. Where did I put that? Nope. Where did it go?
Magnus is the big bad. He just like disintegrates me.
Right. No, if that was his plan,
He would have been dead a while ago.
Very easy for him to do it other ways.
Yeah. I'm gonna yell out to Magnus. You know who these guys are?
And he's gonna respond. He goes, "Yes, these are arcane knights. We kind of used to use them a whole lot, but they moved into mercy. I'll explain later, I promise." And he grabs you. He kind of like lays his hand on the shoulder, and you watch it, like his like skin goes a little taut. He looks a little gaunt for a second, and you're going to get 15 health points back.
Wow.
Did he just do like reverse vampiric touch?
Life transference.
I have been chosen Farewell, worthy friends. Thank you.
Yeah, and then that is going to be actually sorry, I take that back. You get 30 points of health back. You
Wow.
don't have that much.
I just feel so good. I'm like, man, it's like going to a spa.
And that will be the end of Magnus's turn, which means it is now the knight in front of Dern.
He's gonna miss twice. It's fine.
Are you sure about that?
Well, hit once, maybe missed once.
That's a 25 on a nat
Stop.
20.
That's the second nat 20 on me, David.
That's 16 points of slashing
All right,
damage.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
No, a 12 doesn't fucking hit.
If it makes you feel any better, because Steve's there, you now have advantage to hit him.
Yeah, and you bet your ass that he's gonna try and hit him when it's Dern's turn.
And that's the end of that knight's turn. As he hits you for the first one and it connects, and the next one, it almost looks like he pulls his shot at the last second and curves away, and he snarls back at you like, "Are we having fun yet?"
Dern smiles back and just goes, "Yes, we are." As the Kalambasha for my attack is gonna be coming up to smash him in the face.
Okay. We have a guard who's standing next to the door, looking rather stunned about the whole ordeal that's just gone down.
Just run away.
And
It's for the best.
He's gonna throw his spear at. He's gonna throw a spear at Steve. You're
Invisible.
or not. That's you. Foxglove. 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 You said you're 15 feet in the air.
Yes.
He can just make that. Okay, so we're gonna do that and that. And how does a 21 do?
Completely misses everyone but me.
That's gonna be 7 points of piercing damage, and he no longer has a weapon in his hands. Quill, it's your turn.
Who threw the weapon?
The guy farthest from you. It was very much him being like, Okie
doke. Oh boy, I've been debating this. I don't know if it's a good idea. What happens if I was to shoot my bow this close up?
I believe you do it at disadvantage.
Well, we don't want to do that. Okie doke. Oh, man. All of my turns are stupid. Guys. Do I risk 3 opportunity of attacks to get 1 good attack in, or none and take
That's hard.
No, it's not. I would die.
You would die. Just stab. You're gonna be fine. Just close range choices.
Stabbity
All
stab
right.
stab.
You can take a full action and disengage.
Well, then I don't get to do anything.
Well, then that's boring, David.
Just saying. It's an option.
Yeah, we'll end the encounter earlier if we do those things.
Well, I need to do this anyway, so fuck it. I'm gonna Zephyr Strike.
Yeah, you are.
Pulling back. I can go pretty far. So I'm gonna
Okay.
jump up onto that table. I got that cat acrobatics, baby. No, why are you rolling those like Zephyr Strike? They don't get opportunities.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
And then I'm going to shoot my bow at the big guy again.
Okay. The one that was close to you?
No, the big guy.
I mean, they're both fairly big.
The knight guy.
The knight one, right?
The one
the
that he ran
big
away
guy.
from.
This one? Okay. I'm just
Yes.
making sure. So 12?
Doesn't matter because I'm not gonna hit.
Nope. That's gonna, yeah, like,
Even with
as it
advantage?
comes up. Do you do it?
Oh yeah, I can give myself advantage, right? I'll take that advantage.
Even
Really?
still, as the arrow
That's
comes in, you
17?
see him, like, kind of, like, bring up a bracer and just deflect it off.
Oh.
Okay, well that's useless turn number 3. That's it.
Dern, your turn.
Dern, using the help action, is 100% going to smash this guy.
Hit.
God damn it. 15's not going to hit.
That's not gonna hit.
Oh, God, it's just having the one attack. He has multi-attack? The dick. Dern doesn't let on, but he's now a little bit worried. Shit. Was really hoping to hit on that one. Well, I think he's gonna miss on both attacks next time. It's fine.
Okay. Xander,
David.
your turn.
David, I'm cursing your dice right now. I'm cursing your rolls.
Man, Wiki here is gonna kind of look back up at you, Fox, and he's gonna be like, it's kind of this look of like, oh God, no.
I just point towards the exit.
And he kind of like, he does like a, no, that's a fair point. Drops his spear and he just starts to like, he just kind of go da. But he left your area of influence, so.
I'm 15 feet up.
Oh right. Yeah, he's just gonna. He's like, no, I'm done. I think this is enough. One more. He's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. I've made a mistake. You're letting me live. I'm gonna go. And that's basically what he says as he leaves. Like, it's very clearly just to like, this isn't worth it. We've already lost. Like, you can see he's like completely demotivated. He's like, no, I'm gonna go now.
I have a wife and kids at home.
Yeah. It's 1d6, right? Can you roll me that, Quill?
Why me? What's happening?
For your
Oh,
thorn, your
The
thorns.
vine thorn thing.
1d6 is a 3.
You watch the vines crush into him, and as they kind of like wrap up around him, you see him like trying to struggle away, and you hear a break. And there's like a moment where like he realizes what's happening, and he kind of like looks at the group of you, and then there's another break, and he just collapses.
Well, I mean, he tried to leave from vines. That's his own fault.
Question is, like, did he have benefits for that, or is he paying out of pocket?
That's he's unfortunately, I think his benefits just ran out. Might be canceled right now. Actually, technically, his benefits are lying bleeding out in the on a table.
Unfortunately, that counts as a pre-existing condition that is no longer covered.
That guard is still feeling pretty ballsy. Yeah, he's gonna take a step and he's gonna throw his spear at you, Agnes.
Sure. Giant mage beside me. Did you nat 20 on that? Did you nat 1 on that? Amazing! Does he hit Magnus instead? Don't hit Magnus instead.
Just right into one of the chairs.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's one of those things where he throws the spear, it misses both of you by like some miracle. Like both of you just kind of like watch it go like clean between you, and then yeah, just like right into a chair, and he's standing there like, That's gonna be his turn. The knight that's in there, you said you are 15 feet up, right?
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna spin his sword around, pointed at you, and he is going to cast Firebolt at you. And it misses. It just right past you, completely misses you. It just like harmlessly splatters against the roof. And that's gonna be his turn. Dern, I know you wanted to do this one alone, but the queen's getting involved.
That's fine. Dern is feeling a little embarrassed that he hasn't killed this man yet.
So she's going to
18 seconds.
Miss. Oh my god. Yeah, her first 2 hits just harmlessly deflect off of her
The armor.
his armor. Yeah. And then you're gonna see her. Yeah. That's how we're gonna do that.
You know how this fight would be fair between me and this guy? If I had a second attack.
Well, don't worry. She's getting them in for you because
Okay,
she's
good.
going to use her action surge to go again.
Yes!
And on a nat 20, that is 18 points of damage.
Thank you!
Plus, she's going to add her giant's might to that for another. Okay, so that's going to be 27 points of damage to him.
Dern continues to be the punching bag of this group at this current moment, as he
Yeah.
has taken over 40 damage.
You're still up.
Oh
I
yeah!
appreciate you.
No! It lay on hands, my divine smite feature, and just my HP pool. Dern is a freaking monster when it comes to it, but good god!
You just keep soaking up those hits.
Yeah.
It's going to be Agnes's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna cast the other guiding bolt at him. The knight, not the puny one with bad aim. Oh.
That's unfortunately not gonna hit.
All right, so let's try the arrow thing that's supposed to be doing things. Starry form thing. Does a 22 hit him?
That will hit.
I thought your starry form can only trigger on a hit, and then you can roll to hit.
Let me try. That's a good question. I've only ever used Chalice. Okay. When you activate this form as bonus action on your subsequent turns, you can make a ranged spell attack.
Okay, bonus action. Okay.
Yeah, bonus action attack. So a 22 hits, 9 points of radiant damage. And that will end my. I'm gonna move away from him. Be like, bye. That will end my turn.
Okay. Fox, your turn.
Okay,
Didn't call
so
you Steve this time.
Steve once again is going to take the help action,
Okay.
Thank you.
and Fox is going to mind spike the other knight here.
Okay.
So he needs to take a wisdom save.
Or take 23 damage? Holy
Not what you
shit,
were
that
supposed to roll.
spell is good.
You say wisdom?
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Okay,
He was
so he
one
takes,
away from the maximum of that spell.
takes 23 psychic damage, and I always know his location while we're on this plane. He can't become hidden from me, and if it's invisible, he gains no benefit from that condition against me.
Okay, let's metagame here for a second. We should let him go. One of us should learn sending, and we should just stalk this man and be like, how was the milk at the grocery store? In his brain.
I see that you went to that mistress again, sir.
Well, I only that only lasts for an hour.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not as fun.
Okay. Perfect. It's going to then be Magnus's turn.
I see you're at the doctor's office, sir.
I hope that's not too troublesome.
I've instructed the doctor to use a longer, sharper nail for your colonoscopy.
So you should definitely be concerned about that.
Just
Speaking
torment
of
this guy.
Magnus is gonna move to here, and he's gonna look down at Caleb's body and go, well, at least you'll be useful for something. And he's gonna cast Animate Dead.
Necromancers.
And so we are gonna turn him into a zombie. It's not gonna give him too much to go off of, but he'll actually have more hit points than he ever had.
I just imagine Magnus being like, I'm doing you a favor.
Okay, and so he will shamble himself back to life. And then he has to roll initiative as a zombie.
Does he come back with his skin, or is he just straight boning it?
No, he's like just a regular, like he's got all his skin and stuff. Like he was a corpse, so he'd become just a regular zombie.
Okay, and like suck the
A
bones out.
fresh
No,
fresh
he didn't.
zombie.
Yeah, like super fresh. Like he's still he's got a sucking chest wound, and he's still going to like reach up and just be like, and like there's still like blood pooling out of his chest onto his very expensive robes, and he is going to roll for that. We're actually gonna replace him. Yeah, let's do it that way, actually. Come on. Come on. There we go. So yeah, there we go. So now standing on top of the table, instead of him, is a zombie who is going to get his own round of initiative. All that fun jazz. Or not. Why won't you let me roll you as a zombie? Oh, there we go. Or not. We're just gonna add him manually. And now he is in the turn order, so we'll call that a day. And then that'll be the end of Magnus's turn. It is now the knight next to you, Dern, who is squished between
Me and the queen.
you and the queen. And that's not a good spot for him to be. So he's actually going to burn his action to disengage. Back to here. Give himself a second to regroup. And that's unfortunately going to be his turn, which leaves the guard that threw his weapon at that. So we're going to have him roll that. Nope. Nope. He's just like, yeah, I'm out. Peace. And he flees. And that will be the end of his turn. Quill, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna shoot my bow at Baby Joe over there. A big boy, obviously, not a small one. And I'm gonna guess that the number on the dice is going to be a 15.
Hey.
That's a 17.
Still not high enough.
Nope, that one's not gonna hit
My
this
turn,
time.
everybody.
Dern.
Dern is feeling his honor hurt slightly. He's charging in. You know he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know he is. And he is swinging as hard as he can. Okay, dirty 20. That kind of works.
That hits. That's
It
a
does hit.
Still,
I
4 points.
sadly don't have any spell slots left, so it's just a 4. Nickeling and diming, but that's fine.
Okay.
Clips him. Basically, I kind of picture as Dern is swinging his sword in, and he's just getting the deflection, basically.
It connects, and like you see his shoulder kind of like sink in, and you kind of hear like a crunch a little bit, but he forces back to it, and he's like, nope, we're not done yet.
Yeah. Dern's bloodied. The both of them are probably bloodied at each other, and Dern is fighting for this fight.
Okay.
For some reason, this is what is in Dern's brain right now. Is just like, no, we're fucking doing this.
Is that your turn?
That is my turn. I don't got no bonuses.
Okay. Yeah, that's the guy that you guys convinced to leave. He's also just gonna leave. And then there's like a guard now missing his. He's missing his weapon. So he's like, what do I do? And he looks back to the knight, and you can see his look in the knight's face that says like, if you run too, you'll die anyways. And he kind of sighs, and he looks at Magnus. And he is gonna swing with a dagger. And
Oh
that
my gosh,
is-
props to the courage of the guy that is just like, if I'm going out, I'm taking a swipe at this guy.
I mean, if someone gave me the option of, hey, this guy's going to hit you with his car, or he can hit you with his car, but you can cut his head off first, I'm probably going to take the second option.
What did he roll?
That's a nat 1.
No.
So he pulled his little dagger out. He went to stab at Magnus, and Magnus just casually like pushes it out of the way. Like it's like not even an attempt like was made. Magnus is like, no, I don't think so.
Magnus just pulls the dagger out and puts it in his pocket.
And that is going to be his turn, which leaves us for the second knight. And he's gonna try for the firebolt again at you there.
All
And-
nat ones and nat 20s.
Another whiff, just like completely. It's not a nat 1, but like
Okay.
it's still not a good roll. Yeah, just like you watch like the arcane firebolt channel up his sword and miss you completely. Leaving it to be the queen's turn. Feeling like Dern has that under control, she's gonna come join Steve in the fight. And
Foxglove.
And she is gonna take a swing at. Oh. Okay, nope. She swings with her sword, and it just like completely goes wide. Not a chance. She's a little off balance. She tries to kind of recapture herself a little bit and take another swing. And it's still gonna be a miss for her. Again, nice like kind of like clicks off of his armor, completely unfazed. Agnes.
I'm gonna take a few steps forward because I gotta be close enough. Cha-cha slide. We're going to produce flame at the knight. I'm trusting Magnus and his zombie to take care of the poor sad sap beside me. 13's not gonna hit him.
Nope.
And then the arrow attack is going to be a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
It's going to be 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then we're just good at cha-cha slide back down here again.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Beautiful. Fox, your turn.
Okay, so I think Steve is again gonna go over to that guy and help.
Okay.
I are helping. And then I am going to take the knight below me. And whiff it.
Just. You guys are really close on a lot of your hits. That your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
17 is the number we need to hit.
I think it's 8.
No, because
I think 17's been missing. I think it's 18.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, zombie Kalen is gonna like shamble his way off the table, and it's kind of like a haphazard, like, and like all of the grace of the first one somehow manages to catch itself, stumbles down, and is gonna swing at the guard by just literally slamming his body into him. There's no humility whatsoever in the attack. It is just like, and he like fully just like slams his body in all the weight. The guard takes the damage, and is still good. Which makes it Magnus's turn now. And you're gonna watch. Magnus is going to reach forward. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do that. He is going to kind of like stretch his hand out, and you're gonna hear, it's like a deep, old, like powerful gong rings out, and the dude and the zombie are both gonna need to make constitutions, or make, not constitution saves. Yeah, constitution saves. Look at me right. First with the zombie, who gets a nat 20 and totally makes it. And then the guard is going to...
You're less constitutional than a guard or than a zombie, bud. How do you feel?
Who's going to fail miserably. He is going to fail miserably.
Trying to call every roll tonight. It's semi-working, not really.
Takes 7 points of damage. And he is, as like the sound rings out, you watch as his like head shakes and his eardrums just begin to bleed out. And he like goes to clench his head before he can even grab. He takes like 2 half stumbles back and just falls back.
Okay.
I can hear Melissa fangirling. It was the subtle little like, wow. That got me.
Wow.
I just Magnus.
And now I can finally close the guard window because there's no more guards on the field. The knight next to you is going to take a swing at you, Dern.
Yeah, is he?
I don't suppose an 11 hits, does it?
Oh.
Okay. What about a 16?
Hey, David, guess what?
But
No.
okay, yeah, both of his hits, both of his swings are gonna go wide, and they're not gonna hit you, Dern.
Prediction. Correct.
Quill, it's your turn.
You're muted.
We can't hear you, buddy.
I said, I wonder what I'm going to do and then what I'm going to miss on. I aim at the knight. I shoot my bow. I miss with my arrow. Quill, on his 6th miss of the night, just kind of sits down cross-legged, puts his bow down, pulls out lube, puts him in his lap, and goes, I think we're just going to watch the rest of this one.
Oh, no.
Dern?
And ends his turn.
Dern is going to throw a smack at this guy. 16 doesn't hit. I know that much.
Hit.
Man, tonight has been hard for the misses and the hits. I just presume these two are just blocking each other constantly here. And
Yeah,
it's just seeing steel sparking.
It's 100% parries. It's them like deflecting and catching and trying to like fight it off.
Oh,
It's already.
See, I'm more imagining like a kind of a situation.
The knight's gonna swing at the queen. He's gonna be really ballsy and he's gonna swing at the queen.
Oh, she does have +2. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry.
No, she doesn't.
Let me. Should I roll Constitution checks a couple of times because blessed might not be up anymore?
Give me 2.
Give you 2. Okay.
Yeah, give me 2.
Let's see. Constitution. Nope, it's off.
Okay, cool. That's fine. He still doesn't hit, but
Okay.
Yeah, neither of his hits are gonna connect with her. And it's like 100% like deft quality with her, where she's like deflecting it off as she's going. It's almost like she's toying with him.
Yeah.
Just kind of have this like little chuckle to herself, and now it is her turn to do the same thing back. That's gonna hit. And that's also gonna hit. Okay, nickel and diming. You guys got it.
Yeah. These knights are good.
They're meant to be a little tougher, a little spongier. Agnes, your turn.
Oh. Slide left.
That's forward actually. That was the
That's-
real
that's-
smooth touch-on.
Nat 20!
There you go. So that's against the same knight.
The knight.
For 6 points of radiant or for fire damage. Kate. There you go.
And then does a 24 hit, which
That's gonna hit. Yep. Only one lower.
10
than your-
points of damage.
Okay.
16 points.
And slide to the left.
And, really quick, Melissa. What does that death look like?
Well, you know, she hits him with a fire, and then as she pulls her hand back, an arrow kind of forms in her hand, and the line of it goes up her arm, up through her eyes, and her eyes kind of flash into stars, and it very, very like sparkles, and then shoots him directly into his matching eye on hers, and his eye like shatters on the inside as he dies.
And then I would assume that the arrow, once it's struck, disintegrates into stardust.
Yes.
So he's covered in glitter with his eyeball shot out. What an embarrassing way to go.
I mean, honestly, look at who he aligned himself with.
True.
I'm not the embarrassing part.
Fox, your turn.
So that other knight, I am going to mind sliver. So he needs an intelligence save.
I'll just save. Ooh, he does not make it.
He takes 6 psychic damage.
He's looking like rough. Like it.
And
like, he's got like a twitch to him. Dern, I know you've got help probably being. I assume that's what you're gonna say with Steve with the. Oh,
yeah,
what's
so you also, so you take away 3 points from his next saving throw.
Okay. Zombie Kalen's gonna like shamble up this way. And that's its turn. And then it's Magnus's turn. Magnus is gonna look over at you guys, Dern, and go, Do you need help? Or are you good? Do you want help?
Dern is very focused on this fight, and he has a plan if he survives this next hit.
Okay.
So Dern doesn't respond as they're hitting blows back and forth between each other.
Okay. It is that knight's turn. Is a 12 hit?
Nope.
How about a 9? Well, 9.
Done 30 minutes ago. If we had been able to hit our fucking shots, either side. Or us,
yeah.
we would have been done 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Quill, it's your turn. What's Quill doing?
Quill just kind of has Lou in his lap, just kind of like playing with his little paws. He notices that like the team's not in trouble. It's very clear they've got this. Dern's doing his thing. Dern specifically told Quill not to get involved, and the only one left alive is the one that he's fighting. So he's just sitting there playing with Lou, and he kind of like shows him the battle and goes, "So this is like a battle? This is kind of like the first one you've like been casually able to see, not from like my hood or something." And I'm like, "So that's a zombie, but it's our zombie, so he's a good zombie. But if it's a bad zombie, you want to rip him in half." And I kind of turn back to the knight that just kind of fell by the queen, and I'm like, "That guy, he's hard to hit. But I think you'd be fast enough." And I go, "Let's look at Dern." And we just kind of sit there staring at Dern.
Okay. Dern, it's your turn.
Dern looks at this knight, this nameless knight, and as they're both kind of just growling at each other, Dern drops his hammer and looks at this knight and goes, "We need to fight another day when it's just you and I."
The queen's gonna let him live.
And Dern says, "If you live today, find me."
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. Nat fucking 20!
Okay. And he kind of looks around, and it's like super clear he's disheartened, and he's real bloodied. His shoulders caved in. He's looking pretty rough, and he kind of looks around. He's like, "There is honor in fighting another day." Yeah.
What's his name?
What is your name? As Dern's hammer is like caved into the floor, I'm trying to give David time to be able to come up with a name for this character.
Sure. Let's go for that. I am Haki Ibeson, and it would be an honor to fight you again.
I would have said Sir Last Night.
For the knights that say me.
Dern smiles, and there's blood coming off of Dern's face. Like, Dern is bloodied, and he's just like, "You find me."
And he's like, "Yeah, sounds good, but it's not his turn, so he doesn't get to make a decision on that." Is that your turn? Is that your whole turn?
That is my turn. Dern has thrown his hammer into the ground.
Okay. It's the queen's turn, and she kind of like looks at your like little bit of like opportunity to like let him go, and she's just kind of like a nod. And she like shrugs and she like sheaths her sword, and she's like, "You're good to go." Agnes.
Okay.
Dern wants a anti or what is it called?
A nemesis.
Nemesis. Dern wants a nemesis.
Is it really a nemesis if you beat them and they don't beat you, though? Because you're letting him go. It's a nemesis if they do something to you.
Yeah, but Dern doesn't really understand the word nemesis.
This is more like a future. This is just a future booty call.
I mean, for Dern,
Okay.
it might be.
So, question, because I'm not quite sure how this works. My starry form is a bonus action to use that. Can I hold that action if I'm not holding anything else?
No.
It's.
I don't-
I don't think so. I actually don't.
I was gonna say I don't think so, but in that case, you know, I'm gonna read the room and do nothing.
Okay. I'm
That
an
will-
actual character in the future, aren't I?
Yep.
Good old Arky.
Okay. Fox, it's your turn.
Is Fox gonna take this away from Dern? That's the real question.
Is this really a good idea?
Magnuson's like, well, they hold true to their like thing, so like he'll be back. Like it's kind of their whole deal. That's gonna hit. And what does your agonizing blast look like when it kills somebody?
Just blast straight into him, and then it just pulls him, his bloodied corpse 10 feet into the air, and just flops, and I'm guessing he's all full of armor and everything, so you just hear this as like the sound of like spilled cutlery sort of thing.
No.
Yeah, that's
Dern looks at the armor pretty, actually, like, kind of devastated.
I mean, there's a whole other set. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, it didn't damage the armor or anything, right? It
No.
just clanging against the ground.
No, but the person. Dern
Oh,
was
yeah,
looking for a nemesis.
Dern, you get everything, buddy. I'm sorry. If it takes Quill 4 attempts to make a friend, you gotta try at least more than once to make a friend.
It's never a good idea to leave an enemy at your back.
Oh. Dern's a
And
little
that-
sad.
leaves the room covered in viscera, blood, bits of armor, and one shambling zombie.
Yeah. So your tininess. I'm sorry about all the mess I made here.
And she looks around. She's like, "Oh, we have staff for this specifically, actually."
Yeah. I hope they have good magic.
Well, you'd be surprised what you can do with a mop. And she looks back at like the spear that's like stuck into a chair, and she's like, and you know what? I'm sure we can fix that chair too.
I'd say just leave it. Let it serve as a reminder.
Yeah, so you are in a room full of it's weirdly quiet. There's like a thing, and Magnus, like, watching the shambling remains of the zombie kind of walking around.
Mhm.
He's gonna kind of just like kind of almost like we probably should do something about that. And you watch him reach out and cast a spell, and there's some kind of like gentle like glow in the air, and then you watch like everything in it start to like pull into a spot beneath the zombie, and you just watch it go.
I have a question.
Yep.
What? I can't remember if the spell he used on the soul in the like there was a soul on a table when all this started going down.
Is it still there?
Is any of it concentration? Has anything happened to the soul? Is it still just floating there? It's
100% just like chilling out there.
Cool.
It's
Cool.
like there's just like a cage with a little like soul like clearly trapped in it, sitting where like the queen's head of the table was.
Also, important question. Would you be able to balance googly eyes onto the floating remains of the soul?
You could try. They're not really corporeal, so it'd be difficult, but you could make an effort.
There's
Amazing.
probably some
amazing.
spell somewhere.
Agnes starts digging through the bottom of her bag because she's sure she left one or two at the bottom there somewhere, and then leaves it there.
I asked Steve to go check the hallway.
There's no one out there. It's now that the battle is done and over with. There's there's kind of like an odd calm that has fallen on the space.
Dern approaches the armor of his once nemesis, soon to be nemesis,
The nemesis that never was.
the nemesis
I
that
mean,
never was.
We can always ask Magnus to bring him back too, and you
Uh,
can have a zombie nemesis
uh,
if you feel that strongly about it.
No, Dern just kind of picks up the helmet of this knight, and just kind of says a few words quietly to himself, and puts the helmet gently on the chest piece.
Okay.
Out plops a picture of a young boy.
Like you can see Magnus has a moment of like actual like lack of humanity. He's like, I can make it look like a person temporarily if you'd prefer.
And Dern kind of laughs and goes, "No, I think it was my bravado getting in the way of keeping people safe properly."
Okay.
Is what he kind of says to Magnus, and as he kind of smiles and goes, "I'll find a better nemesis later."
Oh, I'm sure you will. There's plenty out there. As you guys are kind of talking, the queen is like riding her own like throne back up. Like at some point it got knocked over, and she
Mhm.
sits down and she's like, I feel alive. That was
So
that was good.
almost like you'd say, "It's good to be queen."
Ah. And Magnus turns and looks and goes, I was right. And she's like, I don't want to talk about it right now.
So you're saying
is,
that the queen is under a lot of pressure?
So, Magnus,
And then-
how long have you been waiting on that I told you so?
Oh, a few generations, it feels like.
I guess Dern approaches and goes, "Well, this was a bit more of a bloody mess than I was expecting."
So, next council, I'd probably give them like no power and have them as like an advisory council only, and maybe like not let them have weapons in here.
Or invite one of the ones from White Summer.
And she looks at you a bit confused, and she goes, "What do you mean the ones from White Summer?"
Dern breathes in and goes, "There are people from that town who want to live and stay there. Why not give them a seat on the council?"
Sorry, I was very distracted. Ben just licked between my big toe and little toe. And
I am hoping that Ben is a dog or a
yes,
cat.
it's my dog. It's my dog. It's my dog. It was such a like off-putting moment that my brain stalled. I'm really sorry.
I offend the dog.
He's actually got a man in a gimp suit underneath his desk.
I was about to say that!
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Who's a good boy?
Yeah, you are a dog. He's got a great sense of comedic timing. Yeah, no. So as you guys are kind of like gathering your things, yeah. I'm just getting caught up on chat, by the way. Yes, Ramshackle. They are very much mini tonks. So she's like, well, would they be willing? And you can see her like thinking about it really hard. And there's kind of a moment, and she sits there and she goes, well, little fairy, you've had access to courts. How do you think assuming we do, of course, bring in, those from White Summer, and there will have to be a discussion, but it's gonna really depend. How would you go about integrating them?
Well, your kingdom really has evolved since its first creation into more of like an empire.
She kind of nods, and she's like, "I guess, kind of, yes."
So I'd recommend is having each of your, well, former kingdoms separated into their own like districts or counties or whatever you'd want to call them. And then each one of those would have a representative on the council that represents the leader of that district.
Okay.
Right. So they have some autonomy to a point, but are still beholden to yourself and the empire.
Okay.
Yeah, I just promoted her to empress.
That's quite the promotion you've given her.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
She's gonna let it go to her head.
Technically, it already was. It just wasn't being properly managed as an empire. It was still being run as a kingdom, which I think at this point you're too large to be a single kingdom.
Okay.
Oh,
and
no.
she thinks about it for a second, and it's kind of like a you can see her like going over it, and Magnus has this look on his face of like, well, that's not the turn of events I was expecting.
Right, and it would help to quell some of the dissent if you give some of the districts a bit more autonomy, right? As long as they're still following your laws and sending at least some tax money.
Unlimited power.
And she kind of nods, and she's like, that's actually a very good idea. We should. And she looks back to Magnus, and Magnus is like, it's like the first time where he's like, I don't know what to do. It's not a bad idea, but also like,
Oh dear. Oh dear.
and I'm gonna need. It's actually thrown. Okay. She's gonna call for the other council members to return. And I don't know about you guys, but I need a short break.
Yes, that is fine.
So I'm gonna propose a short break. We'll throw the BRB. We might be back sooner than the 10 minutes. But I think just a quick step back's a good idea. Get our heads refreshed, and we'll be right back.
Agreed.
My mouth is full of.
DM has a brain freeze.
I'm an
Oh,
adult, I swear. Okay.
You have a child on the way.
I do, and I'm gonna teach them all kinds of great things, like how to eat way too much popsicle all at once. So when you guys left, the queen had sent to gather what remains of the council, and have them return to the chambers. It takes about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours for everyone to kind of gather up, and the chamber to be made
Adequate.
truly usable again. When you come back in, there are the bodies have been removed. The blood has been mostly cleaned up. Like, you can still tell, but the damage to the room is apparent. The signs of your conflict dot across it. There's chairs missing, and most importantly, there are 4 members missing from the table. This time, there's no ceremony for the queen to arrive. It's just simply she is already there when you get there. And she welcomes you in, very, very open-armed, with a smile, like she's greeting old friends this time. She goes, come, come, come. And for a moment, she considers like the table that sits at the center of the room. And she goes, I don't think for the moment that's fitting for the time being. So if you wouldn't mind. And she has a couple servants move things from that central table to the 4 unoccupied seats around the table itself, including a little cushion for Lou and a smaller, surprisingly proportionate chair made available for Steve. And she kind of settles everything in. And she goes, so the crux of this is a suggestion from our new friends, without whom we never would have understood the true depths of depravity and ill intent that were garnered by members of this court.
Can I lean over to Quill and be like, she says we're friends?
She goes, one of the options that has been put forward is a restructuring of this council to divide the land not by the tribes that originally made it up and those that joined after. And she nods to the member of the Tayo. She goes, but instead to divide it up by regionality with a new addition. And she gestures to the door, and from earlier, you see James Orville walk through. And I didn't do a good job of describing this man to you when we were here last, so allow me to fix that. What steps through the door is a very middle-aged man of dark skin, who has long, drawn-back hair. All his hair has been pulled into basically a single series of knotted, not quite dreads. That's not the right phrase for what he has, although it would probably be fairly comparable. That have been like tied back behind him and bound with an iron ring. Whereas before you saw him in relatively shabby clothes that had been worn and repaired and cleaned for a while, somebody has taken the time to dress him properly. So now he is wearing a nice linen shirt, a pair of nice linen slacks, and he's been given like a cloak, and he looks like somebody has taken the time to make sure he's got a bath, but he kind of like walks through the door cautiously. And she gestures to the table, which has now had a new chair kind of like placed for it, and she gestures to the 4 of you and goes, these 4 say that you were looking for autonomy and to remain in your homes. Is that correct? He nods cautiously. And she's like, well, I believe there was a miscommunication between us and you, and that we wanted you out, but we were told you were a threat. And it's now as he's looking around the room, like he's noticing the signs of battle. And he's kind of like, okay, go on. And she goes, what has been proposed is a restructuring based along more regionality, with a higher degree of autonomy for those that are within. And you can see she like thinks about the word for a long time and decides against it. She goes, the kingdom, such that the independent sectors that make it up are truly safe and able to operate in a way that is effective and controlled and gathered. But it would result in the dissolving of this council as it stands now, for you to choose how you represent yourselves within your regions, and then to advise the crown as a whole. And there's kind of a murmuring. And Brock, who before had been the one that had laughed alongside you, Dern, goes, well, and he looks at amongst himself and goes, we always vote the same. And he kind of gestures to the orcs and goes, our clans have been united since this kingdom's founding. It wouldn't be bad for us to see that kind of representation. And he looks over to Tayo and goes, and Tayo used to, the kingdom of Tayo used to be its own city-state. And you control a few smaller towns around, but overall, you would have returning to the autonomy of your father. And the man nods. He goes, so that would be 2. And then he kind of like cautiously regards James and goes, if our new friends, who we have heard of greatness of the strength with which you brought forward, would be so willing to vouch for you, I personally would vote for the inclusion of White Summer in that as its own region. And James looks kind of back to you, because you were the ones who convinced him to leave his home, to convince him and his people to leave their home.
Dern will look to James and go, it's amazing what a few hours can make when hammer diplomacy is applied. And then Dern kind of goes like, I think I did that right. I think that's what I did. Yes. And he goes, yeah. But Dern goes, sometimes opinions and thoughts change in a rather quick succession. And he looks to James and goes, it is your choice at this point. Go home or come to the womb.
And he looks, goes, well, we would have to discuss, of course. And we're not willing to just give you power over our kingdom. Like we know how that works. And the queen kind of like waves her hand. She goes, I don't think that's what our friends or us are suggesting this time. And he goes, well,
they would have a certain amount of power, but you would still be able to manage yourselves to some extent.
He nods. He's like,
but they would also be, the kingdom would then be responsible for things like transportation and ensuring that the roads to your settlement are clear and things. So you would be responsible for paying taxes for things like that, but it would be to your benefit.
And he kind of nods. He's like almost like a state. Would that be a fair comparison?
I think, yeah, Dern gives his hand to Foxlow. Sorry.
Yes, a state or a county,
Okay.
maybe a
Okay.
province.
He nods. He's like,
One
okay.
and all the same.
They are all technically different, in
Well, yes,
unique
they
and
are.
interesting ways. And he's like, okay.
What
we'd-
about a
we'd-
territory?
We'd still have to. Ooh, the worst kind of. He's like, okay, we'd have to talk about it. You know, I don't know. It's too good to be true. You know, we got to go home, and we gotta be, you know, where we were, and you're gonna help. And she nods.
Well,
Yeah.
and there may also be people even living in this city that may want to move to White Summer. You may be able to get like a carpenter that you were badly missing.
And let's be honest, you might probably want a few extra people to hang around with. It's gotta be lonely.
And with the gates opening, there could be a new influx of people from the womb looking for a new home.
At this, he kind of looks to where like Magnus is standing in the corner, and he goes, "Is it true? Are you gonna open the gates?" Magnus very cautiously looks around and goes, "In time."
Maybe
will-
after applying some safety features to prevent tampering.
We will start with the womb, I think. And he looks to the queen like he'd already made his mind up that this was going to be a thing. But he looks to her and she cautiously nods, like she goes, "There has been a great deal of damage on both sides. To immediately return to what once was invites the possibility of what happened before happening again. However, there have been necessities of culture that have been ignored and have allowed to lead to, well, this." And she gestures to like the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we lost our place for who we are and what we represent. And she looks to the four of you and goes, "Well, by that we have currently 3 that would sit on this council, or would at least advise. Would perhaps the 4 of you consider staying?"
Dern smiles and shakes his head and goes, "No, not for me. My time and my life is to the womb at this time. I will continue to adventure to make sure that we can right these wrongs and these misunderstandings."
Okay. You go ahead, Fox.
I myself have a mission I must accomplish, so I unfortunately must turn this down. I do, however, suggest perhaps ambassadorial trade between your kingdom and the womb.
Of course. We would be honored to have communication with the womb again. And she looks to Quill and she goes, and you, my small feline friend, I'm told you love a good fireplace, and we have many a hearth that would be fit for you.
The biggest of hearths.
Would I get like my own personal one?
If you so chose.
Like, would I get someone that would stoke it for me?
Sure, it could be arranged.
You guys have like, I kind of got really into this like lizard jerky thing. Do you guys have like lizard jerky?
No, we have Very small lizards, if any, but no, I don't believe we have lizard jerky.
The list gets longer and longer with every yes.
So one of the orcs is like writing it down. He's like, import lizard jerky question mark.
I don't really like you to make the jerky. I would make it myself. I just want lizards.
And she's like, I'm sure it would be an
Am I
option.
allowed to like, go out into the wild and catch them myself?
We if that was what you wished, and like she's now like, this is a weird turn of events I didn't expect.
Quillis kind of has Lou in his lap, so and he goes, "Is Lou welcome too?"
Of course, any friend of yours is a friend of ours.
And he kind of looks to Dern. He goes, "I think I'm gonna stay."
Dern is very surprised. But Dern nods and goes.
And he goes, as soon as he sees you nod, he goes, "You're supposed to have a bigger reaction than that, dummy."
I'm
And-
holding it in. It's a
I
core.
think you've broken him.
And he stands up and goes, "I can't leave my friends. I'd never leave my friends for a fireplace. I might like hang out here for a while one day, but I'd never leave my friends."
Dern is like there's a visible sign of relief in Dern as he just goes. Well,
The look on
I was trying to hold my composure.
the look on yours and Melissa's face was amazing. You both looked so shocked and sad because if you stand here, I'm out the stream and so is Quill. And you had
Holy
this just, like,
fuck!
broken look. Who doesn't hear I had to fuck with someone? It's been like 5 days. So
God damn it! You actually made me stop for a second. I was like, wait, what?
as soon as he made this option of everyone to stay, I was like, I'm just gonna say I'm staying.
Agnes,
I'm sorry.
Agnes laughs and sitting beside you, just like pats you on the back and just goes, "That's funny. That's
Yeah, Dern is.
um,
Dern's face just went white as soon as you were starting to say like, "Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna
As
stay?"
soon as I said that, I saw the heartbreak on both your faces. I felt incredibly bad inside. Specifically,
That was
like
fucking brilliant.
Riley, your face just went like my heart sunk as much as yours did for a second. I was like, oh, no.
No, that was good. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like a character thing for Quill or something like that. Holy shit!
My new goblin who talks like this all the time.
Agnes smiles and laughs and says, "And here I thought I was going to have a buddy along with me." And kind of turns to Magnus and says, "I don't know that I would be a permanent fixture here, but I think I have some things to learn. And if the gates will open, I could at least help set up the... I could help set it up."
Nice.
Because you're DMing, right?
Dern looks
So
to
I-
Agnes and goes, "Agnes, we just got you back for our new quests. We'll be sad to see you go for a little while."
Well, the way I see it is that when you're trying to learn things, if you walk through the same paths, you learn the same things. And sometimes that can really help you. But I've collected just about all the moss I can in the grove right now. And I just really, really think that it would help me to collect a few stones from other places. But as long as the gates are going to open, and at this she kind of turns to Magnus and is like, "As long as the gates are going to open."
So
He nods. He's like, I again, all good things in time.
And she kind of nods and she's like, "Not forever, but I think I belong here, at least for a little while."
Dern gets up from his chair and just hugs Agnes.
Agnes is like up on the top of her toes, and her boots, because she wears Wellingtons everywhere she goes squeak.
Yeah.
She like tries to give you a hug.
No. It's a Dern goes and does like a pickup hug kind of thing, and your feet are off the floor.
They're like dangling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you pick her up out of her boots?
Depends on how well attached the boots are.
I mean, I have scaled mountains in these gum boots. I think they
True.
are like fully
Glued to
my
your feet.
at this point.
Yeah.
And sorry.
So I fly over to Agnes, and in Sylvan, I say, I may not see you again. If I don't, if you end up in Oberon's court, show this token, and it will help you to gain favor.
She takes the token, and she gets a little bit quiet, and her eyes kind of mist over, almost reminiscent of her starry form for a moment, and she pulls out a little leather necklace that she wears that has a little kind of a little pouch on the bottom of it. She doesn't take it out very often, and she takes the token and puts it inside and keeps it.
And actually, in reaction to your eyes, you see Foxglove's eyes swirl with color.
It was very nice meeting you. I can't wait till we our paths cross again.
Hopefully, it won't be in a frog's mouth.
I mean,
Well, maybe.
I must say that there are worse ways to meet people, and few better.
It's true. I once met a man who, like, I don't want to get into it. Never mind.
Make sure, and at this she turns over to Steve, and I say, you make sure that you keep in touch with your brother. I can't
Which
be
one?
around all the... Are there more brothers?
Yeah.
Well, they simply must come over for tea. It is non-negotiable.
Yes. We're still looking for Robert. He's been missing for quite a while.
Well, add him to the list of the names. Maybe we'll find him too.
Robert the something fairy thing.
Robert, Steve, and Tim.
Their parents were hippies.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know what you mean. We're a perfectly grounded bunch.
Well, no, just give them such weird names.
I guess, yeah, Dern is, Dern now having his heart jump up to his throat from Quill, and then back down, and then back up to about here for Agnes, is just a little sad.
I'm gonna, seeing this, realizing that, like, you didn't enjoy my funny joke, I kind of, like, walk over and I clamber up on your back, and then I put Lou on your head, and I go, don't worry, you got a lot more of this ahead of you.
Dern with slight tears in his eyes is, and just, kind of sucks it back a little bit and goes, friends are good. Friends are good.
I learn, as I see that, I kind of get really close to your ear and I go, it's okay to cry.
No, I'm in court. I can't cry in court. I'll cry after court.
If you can't cry in court, where are you supposed to cry? It's important. Everyone cry. And Agnes stands up and is like, cry. Cry now.
It doesn't work
I was
that
like,
way.
but I'm not sad.
Tears are important. You can cry for happy tears or for sad tears. This is a new day for Hemlig. A union of all the different areas and a newfound relationship with the womb. This is a happy day.
Dern lets it out.
Cry!
Dern
Cry
just
now!
lets it out.
Quill is trying desperately, but he can't, so he just kind of like is like, I am so sad. Look at me cry.
I stick my finger in someone's glass of water and
Like, and then
Um,
I'm also gonna cast a. I'm gonna take out a little chunk of wood that I have, and I'm going to cast a message in Druidic on it for Farland, and give it to Quill to take back to the womb with him.
Okie doke.
Someone's going to have to start the negotiations. I'm not going to come back quite yet.
Sorry, you're trusting me with the negotiations?
You also have a stone of revivify. You're growing up, Quill. Good luck.
Quill remembers the stone. He goes, I'm not sad anymore, but I'm kind of in a bit of a panic.
well,
no.
all you have to do is take that to Antifar.
Quill, when you're unsure, when you're feeling that uncertainty, all you have to remember is to ask yourself, what would Lou do?
Dern, ugly crying, goes, no, that's for Anti-Far.
Quill just kind of like goes tight around your neck, and he's like, "It's okay, buddy. It's fine. She's gonna be back. We're good." And you start to cry.
I don't
And
know
then-
why I'm crying anymore.
Agnes has got like little sparkly tears coming out of her eyes, and she turns and says, so what guest room is going to be mine? To Magnus.
And he's like, I'm sure we can address that when we get back.
I really liked the one next to, she's like pulling up her bag. She's ignoring all the court. She's like, I really like the one next to the library. I really think that I could do something with it, but I'm going to need to add some extra shelves because I really, really need to make sure that I get adequate light for my mushrooms.
And he kind of chuckles and he looks to the queen and she nods and she goes, well, if we cannot entice all of you to stay, perhaps gifts instead.
I like gifts.
And
Never did a gift before.
a moment later, a servant appears, and they've got like kind of a collection of things on a platter that she brings forward. And she kind of lays them out in front of her. And she goes,
Dern grabs one of the servants' like handkerchiefs or something from their shirts and just blows his nose and then puts it back in the pocket.
He goes from being a handkerchief to just like something you'd soaked in Jello. Like not really Jello.
Oh, and it's frozen too.
uh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's less gross.
It's less gross, but it's slightly frozen.
so yeah, she lays them out in front. She goes, I believe in choice. And she puts her hand on like a scroll. She goes, this is the lands here in the city originally belonging to Kalen. Everything that was his clan's for you. His forge, his people that join him, anyone that is willing to transfer their fealty to you, yours. And she kind of hovers over a note. She goes, not of the same value, but of something you could use otherwise. A notary to be withdrawn at your own will of 2,500 gold. And then she hovers over a last thing and she goes, or you may have access to our armors and a short period of time for which to maybe prep yourself a little bit better.
Dern takes a look at the third option, the armorers, and goes and just kind of shrugs his shoulders a little bit and goes, I think I need something a little hardier. As he does this with his armor, that's probably still very dented and damaged from the fight that he had.
She's like, I would like to note that it will have to be agreed upon amongst the four of you, as it would be a collective gift. She's like, if I give all of this to one of each of you, I have a feeling Well, what was it that you said that those individuals would say? What was his name? The angry one you always refer to him as. And Magnus goes, that would be Callahan. She's like, yes, it would be spoiling the child. And Magnus kind of like nods slightly, and he's heard the whole saying before, and he's just kind of like, yes, that's good enough. That's perfect. And she's like, so whichever the three of you would prefer, it's up to you, of course. And she kind of gestures to the gold. She goes, you could fully equip yourself with whatever you wished, Dern Rupa, or you could buy land, buy titles, buy buildings back in the womb, perhaps.
Dern kind of laughs at that and goes, I am a man of adventure. Personally, and looking to the other four, Foxglove, you are our newest friend to this edition. What do you think would be good for us?
I have little use for lands or titles or money. But if we keep getting into trouble like this, yeah, some equipment might help.
Dern laughs a little bit. Quill, would you like to be a lord of some land?
Not to like shoot myself in the foot or anything, but I don't think I'll be a very good lord because I'm kind of lazy. So they'd be like, "What should we do about our economic system?" And I'd be like, "What's an economic system?" I didn't know what that is. I've just heard people say it. So like, as cool as it would be to like have a bunch of stuff, I don't really need that. And like, gold is cool. I never really use much of it because I don't really ever have it. So like, if we get gold, that's fine. But to be honest, I've been to the womb, and there's not exactly a lot of good places to buy a lot of good stuff with good gold. So we'd kind of just be buying the same things. I'd be like, I could use a new bow, but then I'd be like buying the same bow, but they would just charge me more. You know?
Dern laughs.
That's
And then
all of us, right?
Yeah, the 2,500 would be split between all of you. However you chose to divvy it up would be up to you.
And then Dern looks to Agnes and goes, how about for yourself? You are staying in this land. You are learning with Magnus.
She walks up to Dern. She's very serious, and she goes, well, Dern, you know that I have always sought nothing but fame and power.
Understandable is what. Wait, no. Dern's like, you have? Wait, what?
And she only manages to keep a straight face for like half a second before laughing, saying, outfit yourself, keep safe. For the love of all that is Fae, do not get
Agnes.
yourself killed while I'm gone.
Agnes, I am still learning jokes. Please be kind to my heart.
Well, you're doing a great job taking care of your heart. All that like squatting you've been doing, you know? You're gonna be just fine. It's gonna be great. And
It's my emotional heart I'm talking about, Agnes.
Your future book, squatting your way to emotional stability.
Oh my god.
I will buy that book if it exists.
It probably does.
Okay.
And I want you to take the armor.
Yeah. So
Or
question
the money,
here.
whatever you need to outfit yourself.
Yeah. David,
Question.
did you talk to James about what would have happened if we decided to get the land? And he wasn't like, no?
It was an option. It was always an option.
I honestly, okay, Agnes is going to turn to the queen and be like, that land is still open. maybe it would be a worthwhile pursuit to you, like this gentleman. You know, he was in charge of your militia, kind of. The people of White Summer were able to both maintain and protect their lands without causing undue harm, as we've learned. They were able to do so amicably and now are able to come here and deal well with you. Obviously, it's your choice, and as a voice on your council, just one of some, but a worthwhile consideration on whether or not that land could be redistributed in a way that is fair and meaningful. And for a group of land where a piece of land where the people that live there are used to a type of leadership that they might be ready for something new. But just because we've dealt with those that were sitting in your court doesn't mean that there aren't still a few pockets that will need help and guidance in the coming weeks.
She nods and she goes, "It has long been our people's tradition to be mobile. We very rarely stay in one place for any length of time." Hello, Mr. Toelicker. We very rarely stay in place for any
Just
length
his
of
car
time.
go home.
For us, lands are often mobile, and may not be lived in permanently for great periods of time. So, and she looks to James, she's like, if it would so suit the needs of those of White Summer, that they may have lands to travel between, I'm sure we could find something to do with the lands here in Havborg that would be befitting of all players.
I don't know. Agnes is sitting here, like, goes over to James and is like, "Told you that we were the last envoys."
No, go ahead.
Dern's heart has been going through emotions.
Emotional
Left
damage.
damage. Dern looks to everybody and goes, "My vote is for some personal pieces of gear." And he puts that down.
I agree.
Okay. And Queen nods and she's like, "Okay. Then we will ensure that you are fitted and equipped. We'll give you access to the armories to be upgraded. I feel a man of adventure, such as yourself, Dernrupa, would feel slighted if the challenge of the battle was lost. So we'll do some upgrades. We'll do some cleaning of what you have, per se."
Dern laughs as he kind of looks at his like well dented armor and equipment, and it's just like, it does the job.
And she chuckles and she goes, "Of course, of course. Then we should set you to it. Some time to choose and muddle over. I'm sure there will be much to discuss with the newest addition to our council." And she looks to James and goes, "That is, if you will join us." And he cautiously nods. He goes, "Again, we have to talk about it, but I look forward to what is proposed." And she kind of like looks around the room that she's in. She goes, "And maybe it's time we did away with this too, and got back to a simpler setup." And you can see the orcs kind of be like, "But it's a good fort. Please don't get rid of the fort."
Very defendable. There's lots
Yeah.
of barriers. Please
It's-
don't.
It's designed to fire out into the ocean. Like, it would probably be a good idea to keep. But so there's kind of a chatter from it, and they're like, okay, we'll discuss and we'll get talking. She goes, "But for the time being, to our new friends, I will dismiss you and let you know that should you ever wish to return to Hemlig, our doors will always be open to you. And to anyone who bears the mark of the womb.
Dern bows deeply. And basically looks to, I guess, the three of us now, because I presume that Agnes and Magnus are probably going to talk for a little while.
I'll see you guys
In
out.
the
I'll see you
group,
guys
yeah.
out of Hemlig, but
Of
yeah,
course,
I think,
yes.
yeah.
We have a little bit of time before that.
In fact, I think we have like a week and a half before Cal was going to reopen the gate. And I'm kind of like, Magnus, did we have to wait a week and a half to open that gate?
The gate is open, so they left the gate on their end with a bunch of people from the womb there. So if it had been a trap and they had like tried to come through, there would have been a bunch of like the mentors waiting for them on the other side.
I understand. Okay.
And while like Magnus could put up a fight against one, against
Not
the
fine.
4 that were there, even he probably wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's only so much a necromancer can do against a paladin, an artificer, a druid, and a bard at like 8th level, 9th level, 14th level.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I won't tell you the details.
They're
You'll find
strong
out.
enough.
Yeah.
Magnus would struggle, and again, the battle you guys fought would probably be a lot more one-sided. But okay, so for the next bit here, we will start with, you guys led to the armorer. So this is a royal armorer. So a little bit of a different situation. So this is where armor is collected, and basically when you are let in, there is armor on display. It is not the armor you will actually wear, but it's ideas of what you kind of want to look for. And how we'll play this is kind of an opportunity for you guys to look around and you can choose. You can go with armor upgrades. We can go with some weapons. Kind of give me ideas what you're looking for, and I will tell you what's available and what will be made available to you.
I think Dern is personally looking for an armor upgrade, something better than his basic armor. Dern is become the punching bag of the group. He is aware that he is the punching bag of the group. He is not done being the punching bag of the group, so he will need something to survive hits better.
What is Dern wearing right now?
Dern's just wearing standard, I think, plate.
Like actual plate mail?
I believe that's all he's wearing is I think that's what he's wearing. No,
Sure.
no, it's chainmail.
Okay.
I mean, he has 18 armor class because he's a paladin, and that's just the way it works. But he definitely just needs something that's better for him.
Is it so? It's chainmail that he's wearing.
I think it is.
Okay.
Because I cannot see many other information unless I entered things in incorrectly, which is 100% totally fair. But I think what... Oops.
That's chainmail.
Yeah, that is chainmail.
Okay. So present is... So there is both, full plate, actual plate armor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's splint armor.
Right.
So splint will, or what's Dern's strength again?
Dern's strength is 15.
Okay, so he would be able to wear both.
Right.
But that would be all Dern gets.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Which way does Dern want to go? Does Dern want to go for full plate?
Mm-hmm.
Or does he want to go for something like splint?
What is the difference between the two? Plate, I think, actually is what I'm going
plate's
to say.
like when you think of old traditional knights in shining armor, that would be plate.
Oh yeah, no, then Dern sees the plate and goes, I want that.
Okay. There's like a servant standing there, and he kind of does like a little bow, and he like jots it down on his notes, and like he scurries off.
Yeah, no, like Dern's just like, no, that is, I am the protector. That is what I need. That.
Quill, what would
Yes, ma'am.
Quill be looking for?
Quill is in love with his armor,
Mm-hmm.
so there's no way he's getting rid of his armor. The only way he's swapping out armor is if he gets cooler dragon armor or summoning Chance's current armor. But it's got to be a lot fucking cooler, and it ain't going to happen today. So Quill is looking for... he loves his current bow, and he will take it home, and he will place it in his house. But he is looking for a bow.
Okay. Is he looking more towards like a longbow? Is he looking for
That's what he
what kind of
currently
bow?
uses.
What is a longbow?
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's a longbow.
Okay.
Yes, longbow.
Okay. Let's take a look and see what we've got as options. Because now does he want to go like more towards like a crossbow, or is he wanting like a better longbow?
Probably sticking with his usual bow because that's what he's trained under.
Mhm.
I don't even. Crossbows feel like a gun. He's never used one before.
Okay.
He likes a good bow. Plus crossbows you have to reload more,
Okay.
and that's
Oops, that's not what I want. One word, right? Longbow's one word. Okay. So in the selection of crossbows is or not crossbows, of longbows. So there's ones that are made from all types of different types of wood. So there are, a lot of them are carved. So like the grips themselves are carved to represent animal spirits. So for example, there's ones that have wolves running along them. You see, some that look like it actually like the actual grip is the head of a bird, basically. So it looks like, and then the bow bows are actually like the bird's wings, and they're carved intricately to represent wings.
What about a dragon?
And there is in the collection a bow that is basically the body is a regular bow, but the bows themselves end in intricately carved dragon heads.
he doesn't even care about anything else. He's just pushed past everything and made his way up to this bow item.
Okay.
And it's like, what's this one do?
And the person who's there is like, that is a slightly improved longbow over a traditional. We used a fine wood for it. We ensured that it was incredibly high quality, and it's carved by somebody who spent 5 years working to ensure that every bit of the carving was 100% perfect.
What's it do? Is it special? Is it magic?
So it is for effect a +1 longbow.
Here I was thinking you were giving me a dragon wing bow.
Wait until I DM, man. I'm joking. Just gonna give you guys all the magical items.
So +1 longbow.
Yeah, so this would be a +1 longbow as an option.
Okay. What are my other options here? Are you gonna?
There is a quiver.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Carved again with very much a Again, there's a row of these quivers that are they're thematically carved in a similar way. The only difference is there is no dragon carvings on any of these.
I
So
made
they
a
are-
quiver here, and it's got the carving of a dodo on it.
Why is
It's
Quill
fast
Australia?
reloading.
Uh, it's so like there's like again like birds with the wings wrapped around, or there's ones where it's like wolves that are like running up the quiver, and for effect they are quivers of Ilona. So it would be an uncommon magical item that can hold items weighing no more than 2 pounds. So it can hold up to 60 arrows or similar. There's a middle-sized compartment that can hold 18 javelins or similar sized
I'm
objects.
sorry, what?
Yeah. And then there's actually a long, super large compartment that can actually fit like a full spear in it.
But it's like a little small quiver.
It looks like a regular quiver. It's treated kind of like a bag of holding.
So it's a weapon bag of holding, essentially.
Yeah, so it holds tons of stuff. It can hold.
That +1 bow sounds pretty cool, though.
Yeah, like Quill doesn't have a need for carrying all this extra stuff. I mean, it'd be cool to be able to like pull out a spear and toss it to Dern. But I mean, sure, I can put other things in there. But oh man.
Buying magical items sucks because you're only like allowed one, and then you're like, oh, what do I want?
I'm very liberal with magic items as a DM, but it's always with the blue rares and uncommon stuff. My players in my
Blue
campaign, I
rares.
think they're like level 7 and they are stocked. But never anything game breaking. Okay,
No.
so the longest holds 6, the mid-size can hold 18 javelins, shortest is 60 arrows, bolts, or other similar objects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I recover most of my arrows, so I'm not worried about holding more. And what else am I going to put in this bloody... We already have a bag of holding. Dern can pull his own spear out of the bag of holding.
+1 bow.
Yeah.
+1 bow.
Quill sees this thing and he's like, that's got a lot of utility. But then, like, as he's saying that, one eye is slow.
You really need to see like an eye doctor or something like that like drifting eye.
It's a thing he does. If you didn't say the bow had dragons on it, he may have gone for the quiver. But I'm going to go for the +1 longbow because every shot I made tonight was a 17. And it would have been enough if I had a +1.
So
That was a lot of 17s and 16s from you tonight.
I'm not enjoying it.
Understandable.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take that. I'm removing my longbow, other one. I'm going to custom name this bow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what
Add
you
a-
No.
That's not how you do that. I added a +1 longbow to my inventory.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a +1 longbow. It's
What's the queen's name again?
Lena.
Like Lena?
I'm gonna make sure I spell that right because I'm definitely second guessing myself. Leena.
Cool. I kind of pick up the bow and I go, this is a very good gift. I'm going to name it Lena.
There's like a nod from the servant who presents you the bow very gently and makes sure that it's all taken care of. Fox, what are you looking for?
So what I really need is AC.
Mm-hmm.
Bracelet.
I was just thinking like a cloak of protection or a ring of protection or
Okay.
A
If
ring
they
is
have
the
just-
bracelet for you.
And if they just have like studded leather.
Okay, let's take a look. You're looking for something of protection.
Oh, do we get the freaking level up too?
Yes.
Thank you, Dungeon Daddy.
Dungeon Daddy does not forgive, but he also
Yeah.
gives.
Yeah, so the cloak of protection isn't uncommon, but the ring is rare.
Yeah. Yeah, so they don't have a cloak of protection, but they do have a ring of protection. So it's kind of like a cabinet of like very gently laid out. Sorry, I'm getting James feedback in like real time.
He's like, don't give him this shit. No, what are you doing? You're gonna wreck shit. Fuck.
No, you know what? I will give you the choice. I'm looking at both of them, and I will give you the choice.
I mean, they're pretty much identical.
Yeah. So yeah, there would be like a single ring of protection included kind of in a collection of like rare-ish things, or when you ask for a cloak, they're like, let me go check. They do like yeah, let me go check the back for you.
See if we have that in your size.
Yeah.
And
that's a serious concern.
and they return. They do return with like, it's a children's cloak of protection. Like it's small. They do have it in the hand of this person. It almost looks like a handkerchief, like or like a hand towel. And they're like, you've got either as really kind of your choice. Thematically, which do you think would make more sense? Because the ring is like just a straight up like ring for a medium creature.
Yeah.
They could forge it down to basically become, it would be a ring of protection themed as a bracelet of protection for you, probably. Or no, I mean, they'd basically turn into like a knuckle duster of protection, size wise. But like the cloak would fit immediately.
Yeah, let's just go with the cloak, and I don't know how that would work with wings, but
Just say there's like holes for it or something.
sure. We just
Wouldn't that be the worst? The cloak can be like, the magic can be dispelled by being sliced. Like, no, you're fine. We'll cut a hole or two.
And yeah, then can I trade my leather armor up for studded?
I mean, it should.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You'll just studded leather. You can hear James screaming in the distance.
It's not like I'm asking for magical studded leather.
No. Okay, and Agnes. What would Agnes be looking for, given access to an armory of decent size?
So Agnes kind of looks at the ring of protection for a minute and is kind of like tossing it back and forth in her hands and puts it down and picks it up and puts it down and kind of turns and says, "It's impressive. But you know what was really quite intriguing, that was different from anything I'd seen in my time in the womb, is the arcanium.
Ooh.
It is unique here, and I do love something that's different. What would you recommend?"
The attendant that is there, thinks for a moment, and there's a consideration that's given to like the fact that most people aren't brought here outside, like you are the first outsiders to set foot in this place in probably almost a century.
Yeah.
So there's like a consideration that you were like presented here by a queen's attendant who brought you here and specifically attended to you here and then was handed over to an armorer. And there's kind of a consideration. And they're like, well, we could probably get you a set of raw arcanium, or have something crafted depending on your needs. And there's kind of like a they're it's almost like they're confused. They go, you understand it's a consumable resource, correct? Matt Faulkner, thank you for the follow. Once used, it's inactive after. Just I want to make sure you understand.
Yes. I
Okay.
understand. I understand. And yet I don't. And that's what makes it so fascinating.
And they kind of like look over into like somewhere off in the distance. Sonic Boom, thank you for the follow. It's
Hell yeah.
we could get you a set of what would mechanically speaking be a chunk of level 3 raw arcanium, or a
Raw.
refined pre-crafted spell at a level 2.
Okay. I think I want the raw at level 3.
Okay. Before we lock this in, I'm
Mhm.
going to explain how raw arcanium works.
Okay.
Because it's a little unique in its function. And I'm going to just pull up my notes here really super quick so I kind of get it right. Because it's a material.
Okay. I feel like so I'm just going to throw us out here. Agnes doesn't know enough about arcanium to make this decision
Okay.
educated wise, but she's
Mhm.
staying in Hemlig
Mhm.
for the foreseeable time. I kind of feel like she would rain check a decision
Okay.
to understand and learn, and maybe
Yeah.
take a little bit of her payment in an education session
Okay.
to understand the uses of arcanium, so that I can make an educated decision about what I want to do.
I'll explain it to the audience as a whole,
Yeah.
and then give you an off-screen opportunity to make the decision in the future.
Okay.
So arcanium, raw arcanium, is extremely volatile and represents a pure physicalized version of magic. It is effectively a spell slot of that level. Raw arcanium requires you to know the spell you are casting, but gives you the ability to cast that spell with the arcanium being the magical source. You are just channeling that magic and directing it, knowing how it works. It also acts as the spell components. So if you have a spell that requires components, you can use arcanium in place of the entirety of it. Think of like a spell scroll, but in this case, you are basically consuming.
Yeah, it's basically an available consumable spell slot.
Yeah. So our raw arcanium is representative of raw potential. So a level 3 chunk can be a level 2 and a level 1 spell, and it will consume down accordingly. It can be a single level 3. It can be 3 level 1 spells, and if you use it to cast cantrips, which I do not recommend, it would consume at a level 1 slot.
Okay.
So it would basically consume as though it were consuming a first level spell slot. So it will physically diminish in size. So at level 3, it's about a pound.
And then alternatively, I could take a level 2 spell in something that I don't know or don't have access to,
Yeah,
and
somebody
have
could
a level
craft.
2 crafted spell
Yeah.
available to me that I wouldn't normally have access to.
That is correct.
Okay.
So those
Okay.
are your two options.
So I know that there was a little bit of talk and like the situation that happened in the battle earlier today where somebody used Arcanium, it didn't go properly. It caused ill effects. How does that work?
So how raw Arcanium works is you make a Constitution saving throw plus half of your caster level rounded down to a minimum of 1.
Okay.
For an actual caster. If it was just like a random person picked it up, they basically get like 0
Right.
in that spot, right?
I would just like to point out just something very quickly about that fight.
Hmm.
If that spell did go off,
Mm-hmm.
Dern had absorb elements at the ready for that.
Yeah,
That
100%. And it could, but it almost killed him. So
Oh, I
what
know.
happens is, you then make a DC check against 10 plus the spell's level. So if your check is like let's say you're casting Fireball, right? It's a 3rd level
Yeah.
spell. So you're casting Fireball, so that would be a 13 DC check. So you would roll your Constitution and then add half of your caster level to that Constitution check as well. So
Okay.
it's a Constitution check plus half of your caster level. So for you, rounded down, that would you'd be, if you rolled a 10 as your Constitution, you would roll then an 11 would be how it would work out.
Okay.
There is the feedback effect. Now, this is something that, like, I think when we first talked about it, it was kind of missed. So we'll talk about it. On a failure of a spell, regardless if it's raw or refined, the spell, if you do not meet that DC, spell fails, and the stone is consumed as though you tried. The magic is let out into the world. You just fail to channel it properly. If you make less than half of that DC check, you take 1d6 magical damage. If you roll a natural 1, it is 2d6 plus a level of exhaustion as your body basically is forced. It has the magic forced through it, and it's incredibly exhausting. However, a natural 1 does not mean a failure. You have to fail. So Magnus, for example, half his caster level would be 8. And he has a Constitution bonus of 4.
Right. So
So
even
the
on a nat.
lowest he can roll is a 12.
Right.
So if he rolls a 1, or the lowest he can effectively roll is a 13, because even without the things, he's rolling a 12 automatically. So if he's trying to cast a level 2 spell,
Right. So he still takes damage, but there's a good chance he still does something.
the spell still fails. It only specifically says if a spell fails to be cast.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Magnus using Arcanium to cast a level 1 spell basically can't fail that. There's no way for him to roll low enough that he can't succeed on using Arcanium to basically fill spell slots.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Agnes is going to chew on Arcanium knowledge for a bit.
Not just like gnaw down on raw.
Well, I mean,
Arcanium.
once the magic is out of it, it's just a rock, and that can be really therapeutic.
That's a
if you've got
cool
a little
rock.
bit of give.
Can't be good.
And
for
actually, I
teeth.
do want to clarify that. Do I get to keep the rock? Like, just the rock remains, like the Arcanium that's in the gates stays there. It's just not illuminated. Once I get this rock, see, okay, so it feels very in character because I'm like, so you're going to give me a shiny rock, and then I'm going to get to do something cool, and then it's still a cool rock I get to keep?
Yep.
I think I want the rock. But probably the equivalent of the spell scroll. Like, I'll probably do the level 2 refined one, and I'll figure out a spell.
I guess at this point, I guess it's time we start slowly heading back towards the womb. I take it.
Yeah, this would be the time you are taken back to the womb.
Okay.
So it's, whereas before it was a slow trudge with a new person you didn't know, this time Magnus takes you back himself still all the way back to the town, but it's with a bit more fanfare. Whereas before there were questioning glances and concerned looks, now there are people that are waving to you. That the story has spread like wildfire of a group of Rekindled that came to Havborg, and not only were they able to root out somebody who had desires to overthrow a much beloved queen, but also to reunite a city thought lost. And to bring a kinship back to the towns and the kingdom that had been feeling, very separated. Your return to the gates. And Magnus looks around at the ruins of Gordsby as you're standing there. And he goes, I think we should rebuild this.
Dern smiles and goes, maybe if you could, maybe put a carving of us on the wall there, that would be good.
I think...
Dern is a glory paladin. Yeah. I mean, he has to have some kind of something to mark him.
I think a carving might not be fit. We'll see about something a little bit more permanent and capturing of your radiance.
Dern does like the yes.
He leads you to the gate, and with the practiced ease of somebody who had done it many times before, dials in the code for the womb, and with a flash, you are greeted by the remnants of the party on the other side. Clearly, they were in the middle of something. As the sun is setting here, it is starting. It is well risen there, and they begin. He stands there, and there's kind of a cautious look from the gathered mentors on the other side as they look back through, and there's kind of a consideration for a moment, and Magnus does like a very gentle bow, and he actually steps through to the other side, and beckons you through.
Oh, Dern walks immediately through.
I really, really want to be like, I'm in the womb, I'm in Himlik, I'm in the womb, and now I'm in Himlik.
I think on the third time, I think Dern just grabs you and just goes, no, you're not getting split.
And here Magnus explains the departure, and that he is temporarily borrowing Agnes from the womb, knowing that there is an opportunity for her to learn, and knowing that there's much he could teach. And I'm sure Antifar would be opposed to the idea, but would eventually be talked down, knowing it's the best for Agnes.
Agnes is irritatingly stubborn.
Sorry, my cat just went nuts.
But he is, after explaining for the time being that Agnes will stay, but will come back, and that he recommends that the gate be left open. And does his best to convince the others. There would be cautious concern for what is to possibly happen, and a healthy dose of skepticism, but an agreement to at least leave communications between Hemlig and the womb open for now. That the gate will become a temporary thing, that Hemlig will establish, at least for the time being, a proper presence back in Gordsby, to prevent people from trying to come through without improperly, but to also ensure that the town is able to be rebuilt, and that should anyone come through from the womb, they are at least greeted properly.
Okay.
But when he's ready to go, he turns to Agnes and goes, "Well, shall we?"
I'll see you all really soon.
I'll look after Tim while you're away.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Agnes.
Hey, I'm gonna see you all so soon. If Tim tries to tell you that he only wants to have the green tea, you tell him that it's not good for his sleep and he has to try chamomile every now and again. See you all in a while.
I go up and give you a hug, and I kind of pull back and I take Lou out, and I take Lou's little arms, and I kind of put Lou a little hug on you as well. I kind of pull him back and I go, "We're gonna miss you while you're gone. So be like super good and don't like die or anything when you're doing like this magic stuff, because it'd be very upsetting if that happened."
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's gonna be great. I'll see you all really soon.
As you're about to walk through the portal, Dern just gives you a big old hug, and it's just like there's ugly crying. Dern's in an emotional state apparently.
I feel like Agnes is like super crying, but also just like laughing. She's having like the best time.
Yeah.
You got some snot on your shoulder there.
Oh,
No,
and she,
yeah.
like, scrapes it off and puts it in a jar.
It's frozen. It's frozen. It is
Oh.
frozen.
Honestly, Dern, this makes it easier to handle. Honestly, and she gives a wave and passes back.
Yep.
As Agnes passes through, Magnus bows to the three of you that remain, steps through the gate, and leaves you with just an empty hole in what could be a stone fence peering through to the mountainside. There's a packing up of things, and there's some people left to maintain the longhouse that's here, to begin cleaning it up and getting it ready for what is sure to be an opportune travel for other people from the womb to head to in the future. That's a story for another week. We will leave our wonderful players with an opportunity to get a chance to refresh, clean up, and for a training montage some other day.
Dun.
But for now, I want to thank all of our amazing players for coming and playing under this, a little bit of a different campaign from what we've done. I want to thank our viewers and especially our new followers for jumping in and joining in on the tail end of such an amazing little adventure.
And also, we're so close to 100. It's so cool.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
I do want to make a note, though. When we say tail end of the adventure, we don't mean tail end of the stream. We're taking a 1 week break because usually we don't play on long weekends. It's a long weekend this week, but we're playing anyways, so there'll be a 1 week break. But we're usually here every Sunday for D&D, and then every Wednesday for a fireside DMs chat with different cast of characters. So make sure if you follow it, check us out on Sundays. And next time you won't see David.
Nope, I'm going to be giving up the throne. It's going to be going back to Agnes, or Melissa, sorry, who will be returning as our DM.
She's there for 2 weeks?
I'll be. We've got a little bit of a scheduling thing that we'll probably want to post up on the socials about what's going on. I'll be here but what you need to know is that on Sunday, August the 14th, I will be taking back in the DM seat, and we will have an update for all of our scheduling plans at that point, and we'll make sure that we're communicating that out with everybody. And that's going to be
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, go finish your thought. I thought you were finished there. I apologize. No, I was gonna say there might be a weird one shot in the middle of there run by a certain somebody else. I don't know about
Stay tuned
that.
Stay tuned for a fun one-shot situation
Mhm.
kind of going on.
I'm gonna
On
ruin.
behalf of, I think I speak for all of us here in the player circle to say thank you, David, for this awesome introduction to a whole new area of Naylor and just like all the cool things it's gonna open up and like offer to us for storytelling and things. I'm super stoked about it.
We got a goddamn Stargate.
We get
We do have access. Well, soon to have access to a system of Stargates. That is correct. So
and
that's pretty sweet.
amazing. Does anyone else have anything else to add, or we will find somebody to raid out to wrap up our evening?
I mean, I got the craziest little thing just because I've been playing the game like stupid.
Is it
Digimon
great?
Survive? Fucking
Oh.
amazing.
People are
If
so
you-
torn on that game.
It is great. I don't know what people are talking about. It's fucking like horror meets Digimon. It's fucking great. Anyway, I'm done with that.
If
People think that
anyone,
people were thinking it was like a big heavy RPG, but it's mostly visual novel.
It's visual novel. It is visual novel, but like it's horror. It is a horror game. God
Hey,
damn.
I used to have tie goggles I wore on my head as a kid. Okay, I wasn't a cool child.
we were in a
Just when you
D&D
just-
stream.
When you think that I was gonna be cool, I had a purple mushroom cut like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. Okay, I was not doing well.
I'm gonna send all of our love over to Sleepy Sheepy Productions. It looks like they're still in the middle of an actual game, so we're gonna send over to them. And then if you guys have anything else, we'd love to hear from you in our Discord, and we will see you
I'm sure
in 2
some
weeks.
of you are
See you guys soon.
Bye.
intelligent enough to see what.
Fucking phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal.
Jesus Christ!
If you guys
Oh
give
my
us
God,
just
Legends of
give me
Logomancy.
just a minute, I will be
Of
right back.
Logomancy. Thank you so much for the
baby.
raid. You guys
Thank you
always
for
give us
the
a
I'm
raid.
sorry, I'll
Y'all
be
are so
right back. I
sweet.
just need to run
I
to the
hope your
washroom, but
stream went
baby.
well. We're currently doing a
Does anyone
makeup
else see
session.
something loading?
Because
Yes.
we were unable
I
to
see
play on
James.
Wednesday.
I see
Oh, I
James.
can't
But
see
thank you
Jay.
so
Oh,
much
now
for
I
the
know.
raid.
Now I see the baby.
Sorry,
It took a
was so
second. I'm
loud.
surprised I didn't have
Thank you
any
for the
technical
follow,
difficulties all stream,
Mackenzie.
except now.
Or Mackenzie? I don't know how to say that. I'm
Great.
Sorry. Sorry, I have to get back into character.
It's all right.
It looks like you.
I'm stuck in character.
Where was I? Fuck. What line was I
Yeah,
saying?
just passed out like that. Yeah, it totally looks like you.
Um,
Hello, baby.